And we are live.
Lies.
Hi.
And that's why you should never do that.
What, lie?
Good advice.
Yep.
I'm afraid I missed something.
Good.
So, god damn it! I just did the Rojan thing and shook my window, and everything's closed.
That's okay. The cameras
Now
once
we're in a
again
thing.
got flipped, and now Shadow Fox is the DM.
Hey, Shadow
I mean,
Fox,
Who's
let's go.
ready for this shit show?
Yeah, you're welcome to DM. I'll play Ixis.
Is it? Everybody else is in the same place. It was just those two.
Oh, at least it was easy to swap it.
It'd be like playing Morty in Gnoll form.
Yeah, but he doesn't have a Richter to guide him.
Yeah. I don't know. Zara is kind of like the group's Richter.
Without the insanity.
You know, you say that, but
I mean, Warlock?
I mean, she hasn't really, gone on rants about aliens or anything
I
like
can
that.
see it in her eyes, though. She's thinking it. So, how's everyone doing? I know probably about half of us are literally on fire.
Yep. Sounds about right.
Yeah, for once,
It's warmer than I'd like.
California is not the Fire Nation.
Which is
Yeah.
really weird. The only upside, though, compared to California, is that yes, it's friggin' hot and I hate it, but at least it's a drier heat that I don't feel like my skin wants to melt off my bones. So that at least is better, but it still sucks.
Yeah, it's gonna be rough this year, I think, especially with this heat wave, drying everything out like right when we're going into wildfire season, and right when a lot of lockdown stuff is starting to let up and people are going back out into the world. I think there's the potential for some serious fires this year.
We couldn't
Hopefully it
trust
doesn't
people
happen,
with the world to
but,
begin with. Now they've been locked down for a year and a half.
Yeah.
And we're letting them back out. That's like letting preschoolers out into an open field.
I mean, LA County just got the order to go back to masks because the Delta strain is like increasing in infection rate here in California.
Just crazy.
Yeah, we've had that one in Vancouver for a little while now, and I'm quite a ways away from Vancouver now that I've moved, but I still don't really want to go outside just because people are ignorant, to put it nicely. But speaking of ignorant people, last session, you guys met some curious individuals on the road after having defeated the butterflies that were assaulting you and successfully hidden away from another swarm of them during the night, and also some centaur-like creatures that walked through your camp and politely asked you to leave by growing an arrow of flowers in the direction away from that part of the forest. You came across a barricade in the road, and there was 2 guards standing there. And upon speaking with them, you learned that the road before you has been flooded, and it is going to be some time before it is cleared. I believe they said a couple days, but they would also do nothing to stop you if you wanted to venture down that path, and you would have to walk through the flooded road for approximately 6 hours to get to the other side. Your other option, of course, was to double back a little ways and either wait out the flooding of this road or take a different path that would lead you across the nearby river. Zara used her ability to look into the possibilities of the future and decided that the flooded road path was likely going to be the least treacherous option, having seen images of things on the riverside and also a very quick, almost rapid-like moving river further down the line. So, much to Xena's dismay, after a bit of discussion, you also decided to wait until your bird friend Reen woke up before you ventured down the flooded road. And as you were ending that part of the conversation, Yixis happened to notice a familiar, ominous glow coming from the arcane scarring that both he and Reen bear from the ritual that you performed a couple days prior to save Iza. And that is actually where we're going to pick up. We're going to retcon a little bit of what happened, the decisions that Yixis made at the end of last session, because there were some factors that we forgot about. So we're going to pick up right when Yixis notices this glowing from these scars and realizes what is possibly about to happen.
So yeah, you had said I look at my arm and I see it, and then I look at Reen's arm and see it too, right?
Yes.
So I think I was pretty close. So I'll run over, and as I'm running over, I'll say to Xena, Xena, I need one of your javelins.
Oh, right. Okay. One moment. And she'll grab for a javelin, instinctually grabbing the lightning javelin and then immediately putting it back and grabbing a regular javelin. Just normal, right?
And he's rushing up, and he'll just grab whatever you have in your hand.
Oh, okay, there. It's the
And
normal one.
I'm gonna touch Reen and cast Dimension Door.
What? I didn't do it.
Okay. So where
Counterspell.
are you? I mean, you can.
Swear to God.
I won't stop you.
No, it'd just be the one time I finally use it. Go ahead.
And then it nukes us.
Where are you
Three.
going to Dimension Door to?
300 feet back up the trail.
Okay. So all of you watch as Yixis runs up to Xena, grabs the javelin that is offered, grabs onto Reen, and then they both vanish, reappearing 300 feet down the path in the direction that you originally came from. And as you reappear, it seems this spell of yours, Yixis, has accelerated the process of whatever is happening with these arcane scars. You do have a moment to take any other actions, though, if there are any other actions you would like to take.
So I'm basically expecting for some sort of arcane explosion.
That's fair. I
So-
mean, it's what was happening in the ritual, so it's a fair assumption.
Yeah, that's basically. So I'm gonna take the javelin and hope that it can act kind of like a conductor and jam it in the ground and hold on to it while holding on to Reen's arm where she
Okay.
had the scar.
Which hand is holding onto the javelin and which hand is holding onto Reen? I know it seems like an odd question, but it does make
It
a
is,
difference in this scenario.
Well, he would have used his dominant hand to use the he would have used his dominant hand for directing the energy at God, I forget her name now. Iza. Yeah. So that would have been his non-dominant hand would have been the one with the coin in it at the time when he grasped Green's hand. So dominant hand has javelin into the ground because strongest, and then offhand is holding on to Reen. So offhand has the coin and the scarring.
Okay. So as the glow from these arcane scars begins to get more and more intense, almost having this like pulsing effect to the light that's coming off of it, you feel, sense, and smell the same things that you did during the ritual when these arcane explosions were about to happen. There's that kind of faint ozone-like scent on the air. Your fur is all kind of standing on end. It feels very staticky around you, and you start to see little jolts of what look like electricity kind of coming off of both you and Reen before a surge of power starting from her rushes through the connection, the hand that you've got on her, through you and to the javelin. I need you to make a Constitution saving throw for me, please.
Ebui. Well, that is one of my higher stats, but not a proficient. So. That will be a 15.
A 15, okay.
Yeah.
And follow that up with a wisdom check.
Just wisdom, not wisdom save.
Yep, just normal wisdom check.
Okay, so that's going to be wisdom's low. 13.
13, okay. So this is where the fun stuff happens.
Oh no.
It's always a good time when
Oh
the DM
my.
says that.
Yeah. So I'm going to need you to roll a few more dice for me, Yixis. You can start by rolling a d6.
4.
4. Oh, okay.
I'm trying to
Mhm.
remember. Did we do anything to trigger this, or did this just start happening with her?
This,
It felt like it just started happening.
yeah, it just started happening as far as Yixis can tell in that moment.
Like
Unfortunate.
we hadn't cast any spells or anything, at least not recently. As far as we know, Reen wasn't casting anything. She's unconscious as far as we know. Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's just a new feature.
Yeah, let's call it that. And
I'm
also
calling in to support for a bug ticket.
roll just a straight d20 for me as well.
9.
9. Oh, okay.
Oh,
So,
that didn't sound
several
like a
things. It's an all right ooh. It's
good
it could be a much worse ooh. As I mute myself, several things are going to happen at once here. Everyone that is watching this from a distance, because you could all see and hear where Yixis appeared after the dimension door, simply because of this arcane energy that is building on the pair of them. And as you're watching from a distance, you see what looks to be a bolt of lightning shoot up from the javelin and is met from a similar bolt coming down from what looks to be the ley line, which has appeared once again in the sky. And they kind of meet in the middle, and there's a very, very loud crack, like a crack of thunder, very bright flash. And simultaneously, there are two other arcane bursts that happen on the ground, one centered on Yixis and the other centered on Reen. Yixis, let's resolve the damage. No, let's not resolve the damage first. Let's resolve
Okay.
the other things first.
Oh, sure.
I'm going to put us over on a map here real quick. Where are you guys? There you are. So let's just move your token way up here. It's not to scale, obviously. I didn't actually prepare a map properly for this, believe it or not.
You didn't prepare a map that was 360 feet long?
I didn't. I tried to. Well, maybe not that big, but my map making program was having issues earlier today, so
Oh,
I modified this one instead. So you notice, Yixis, amongst all the chaos of what is happening right now, that something in your bag is giving off a peculiar glow. And as you look down into your bag, you notice it's one of your spell components. And the glow is so bright and so intense that it almost seems to be giving off like a mist that's rising from it and glowing as well. And then suddenly that glow dissipates and there is a pop in the air near you. The component that was glowing was your gilded flower. And as you look over in the direction of the pop, you see a fae spirit there in the air. Usually, you use that component for your summon fae spell, but
Right.
you didn't cast this spell. But it seems to have been cast by something or someone. And you look over at Reen, and you see the same type of thing, a glow coming from the pouch on her side. Do you look inside the pouch to see what's glowing, or do you just...
I mean, that depends on how much time I have.
You have like a second or two. You could quickly pull it open and look if you wanted to, but you know whatever is going to happen regardless.
I don't think Yixis would be of mind to do that.
Okay. So
unless
the
he
glow-
can see into the bag as is, he's not going to notice what it is.
the glow, much like what was on your spell component, is the same thing on hers, and then suddenly it disappears, and there is a burst of purple energy that like waves outwards from her, like it's almost a horizontal disc in a way that bursts outwards to about 60 feet before it dissipates. And for a brief moment, you see a very, very thin, almost imperceptible purple thread connecting you and her before that thread also dissipates, much like the burst that created it. And then you realize that the damage is coming your way, and this arcane energy rebounds through the javelin that you're holding on to and through yourself and through Reen. But you're fairly confident that what you did in that split second that you had saved you from the worst of it. As it rebounds and travels through you, you are going to take 11 force damage, and Reen is going to take 5 force damage. It could have been significantly worse. But you made a good choice with the javelin, and you made the right choice with the hands.
Well, I mean, it really would have been dominant hand has to shove the javelin in the ground. But I'm glad.
And once all of the sound and the shock and the light begins to fade once more and things are perceptible again, you are left there feeling much like in the ritual, hurt, but also like energized in a strange way by this arcane burst. It's definitely a strange situation, not something that you've ever heard of before. These rebounds through a ley line and spells being cast without a caster actually triggering them. Never read anything about this before, never heard of anything like this before. It's all very unique. And you know, because of the fae that was summoned from your component, that a spell was cast from Green as well, but you didn't recognize what spell it was.
All right. So, couple of quick questions here then. Would I know if the spell slot is expended for Summon Fae?
It is not expended.
Not expended. Okay. So that would make me question if I actually, like, I know you said I didn't cast it, but like if it actually came from me or. So I'm gonna quickly check Reen. Is she still breathing?
She is still breathing.
Okay. So seeing that, then I'm gonna look over to the Fae. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to call you. What are you doing here?
And it, can these things speak? They can, but I don't think it's a language that you can speak. Can you speak Sylvan? Might be able to.
Any comprehend languages? Every wizard should have comprehend languages.
No, I cannot speak Sylvan. I don't know if they can speak Elvish by any chance, but
So it looks at you and it understands what you have said to it. And it just kind of floats there in place and does a little spin in the air and then continues looking to you for commands.
okay. So I know it's under my command as if I had cast the spell.
Yes.
Right. Interesting. Well, I guess thanks for coming. Hold on. And I'm gonna see if I can figure out what or no, is the gilded flower still in one piece?
It is still in one piece. If you go to check on it and touch it, you notice it is strangely cold to the touch, but it does seem otherwise to be fully intact.
Okay. I'm gonna see if I can figure out which component Reen went off for Reen.
Okay. You're going to reach into her bag and feel for any component that seems to be strangely cold.
Yes, that makes
Okay.
sense.
Give me an investigation. You open up her bag and you see a lot of stuff in here.
Well, I rolled a natural 20 for a 27.
Nice.
Not what I cared to have a 20 on, but helpful.
Okay. Because it was a nat 20, I can tell you about a lot of other stuff in her bag as well, if you're interested in looking at that stuff, or I can just tell you about the one thing that you were looking for.
I, as a player, would be very, very interested in knowing what's in her bag, and I'm sure Yixis would too. But I don't want to take up a lot of time going like item by item.
Okay.
So if you want to tell me
I
like
will,
off stream or something.
for now, I will simply say when you open up the bag and look inside, you see a lot of very peculiar, strange foreign objects in here and components that are undoubtedly worth tens of thousands of gold. And after a bit of searching, you do indeed find one that is much colder than the rest, and it seems to be a little spool of silver wire.
Oh, would I happen to know what that's used for?
You would not.
Okay. So I'll just keep that in mind for now. Now, last things last. The arcane scars. Are they doing anything right now?
They have a residual glow to them, but they don't seem to be very bright. They don't seem to be pulsing. They aren't itchy like they were when they first drew your attention to this. They seem to be dormant for the moment.
Okay. Well,
Sabira's gonna
be-
look at the crowd or like her companions real quick, and she's gonna say, I'm not much of a yeller, so does someone want to shout out if everything's okay? Because
I don't know what the hell he's doing.
I think as soon as that lightning struck and everything like that, Zara pretty much went into a dead sprint.
Okay. Yeah, and you probably reach Yixis about the time that Yixis, you determine that the scars are dormant.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm going to be keeping a very close eye on both Reem's scars and my own from this point on.
And the one arm that she's got, she reaches out and just clasps Yixis by the shoulder and kind of like half spins him around. The hell was that?
I'm not entirely sure myself, but those markings that we got from the ritual from the ley line, they started itching and burning, and I kind of felt like maybe another explosion was going to happen. I guess I was kind of right.
And you look over at the javelin that you had, and like the top half of it has melted down into this metallic blob that now just sits atop the other half of the javelin.
Wasn't this what happened when the ritual was going on? When we were acting sort of like conduits to lessen the damage to you?
Yeah. But I don't know why it's happening now. I thought we moved away from the ley line.
Can it happen again?
Arcana?
Yeah, you can give me an Arcana check.
Oh, that's good. 23.
23. Okay. You feel as though it is a great possibility that this could happen again, though you don't know what the trigger for it is, if there even is one. And while you're kind of examining yourself and Reen to come to this conclusion, you also happen to notice for a brief moment a shimmer of a almost imperceptible purple thread now connecting Zara to you and to Reen before that thread dissipates.
Are you hurt?
Only a little. It wasn't as bad as it could have been. Can you do me a favor?
Yeah, don't mention it. I'm gonna cast Cure Wounds
No.
at level 1.
And Xena's gonna look at the javelin and look at Yixis and go, I am glad you're not melted. Would you like another javelin just in case?
We'll see how the day
All right.
goes.
Here, why don't you just carry this with you?
So,
it is best that you stay unmelted.
go ahead and heal 10 HP.
Thank you.
And take a javelin.
Okay, well, thanks. Sorry
You're
about
welcome.
that one.
Oh, it's fine. I only use them every now and then.
Do I notice how close is Xena? I mean, she just handed me a javelin, so she's got close, right?
Now that you're kind of
I
looking
assumed that
for
we all
it,
just kind of approached him. But
yeah. You do notice that anytime one of your companions begins to approach you guys and gets within 50 to 60 feet, another of those threads appears for a brief moment and connects all of you together.
Is anybody at this time not within that radius?
Did
What's the
anybody
radius?
not rush up
50, 60
to
feet.
the group? Yeah. Mechanically, the radius is 60 feet.
I'm not gonna lie, Subira is doing a brisk walk
I mean,
because she's like, I'm no healer. That's the other ones will be better use. They'll be useful compared to me, so I'll catch up.
Isa would have sprinted, seeing how it looked similar to what was going off during the ritual, and she knows how bad those hurt. But she would have joined up with the other one, probably at the same time as Xena.
Xena's faster, a little bit behind Xena.
And
Sure.
what
Basically, anybody who's still
You know,
outside of
she's
that
faster.
radius, anybody who's still outside of that radius at the time, Yixis is going to yell out to stop and ask Xena and Zara to like walk back and see what happens.
Okay. What about Xerax? Were you with the initial wave that rushed in, or were you with?
I would have
keeping pace
definitely
with
rushed
Sabira?
in with the initial wave.
Okay. So yeah, I think Sabira is the only one that would be outside of the radius when Yixis yells out to stop. And then who were you asking to back up? Or to step back?
Pretty much everyone.
Why?
Okay.
See the spirit, the Fey spirit over there,
And
little
it waves at you.
fairy-like creature.
Yeah.
Can I kill it?
No.
Very well.
That's one of the things that you've brought along before, isn't it?
Yes, but even though that came from me just now, I didn't mean to do that, and something like that happened with Reen. But I can't ask her what she accidentally cast.
Maybe.
And every time you guys walk closer, I see a purple string, and I don't know what it means.
Purple
I mean, you did get
string?
hit pretty hard with lightning. Maybe you just need to sit down a moment.
I mean,
I'll
just
concentrate.
try walking back to where Sabira is.
If I get hit on the head really hard, sometimes I see these little gnolls with wings flying around my head, and it takes a moment for them to clear out. So,
Oh, that's just blood pumping behind your eyes a lot
As-
harder than it should.
As this science lesson is
Logic.
going on, Zara will begin to slowly walk back to see if anything happens.
So yeah, I'm watching for any string.
fine.
guess.
Xena will
Okay.
step back as well and look at you strangely.
You watch as they move back 40, 50, 60, 70 feet. You don't see any visual cues happening.
Okay, I'm gonna have to spend some time in her spell book. Okay. Well, I mean, guess this is as good a place to rest as any, right?
Didn't we just sleep? It's still just like midday, from what I
We don't-
remember.
We don't need to sleep. but-
We're
Right.
relaxing until Green wakes up.
Oh, that's right. I forget plans that I dislike.
Okay, if you don't want to relax, we can spar again.
As you all
And she'll jump on Isa and
And
as you
Corgis
all
are
come
at it.
together again,
fully enjoying that idea.
Yixis, you do see the threads appear once again when they enter that 60-foot radius once more. So there didn't seem to be a cue when they stepped out of that radius, but as soon as they re-enter it, you know whatever this thread is a trigger for has triggered again.
Okay. If something starts happening, you all should just move like 60-ish feet away. Because they
Did you
just showed
just
up
say you
again,
need
but
me
I
to
don't
move?
I don't know.
Do you need me to move? Why am I
I
moving?
think you're okay for now. I'm gonna read her book and try to figure out which spell that was.
You're first sticking up, by the way.
Oh,
Better.
So what?
yeah, I'm gonna grab her spell book and I'm gonna start trying to find
Okay.
components that use that silver thread.
I'm gonna pick
Okay.
up
So-
Reen and take her back down to where we were relaxing.
Real quick, her spell book. You have seen her use it several times.
Mhm.
It is not your typical
Well, I
bound
remember.
book with written pages. It seems to be this like clockwork contraption with gears that align with certain symbols to create the spells. give me an intelligence check to see if you can open it. The DC is fairly low because you've seen her do it several times herself.
Well, I rolled pretty high, luckily. Anyways, it's just straight intelligence.
Yep, straight intelligence.
Okay, 22.
20, oh yeah, it's much higher than the 16 that you needed. Yeah, so you flip the right levers, turn the right cogs on the outside of it, and press in the right sections for it to unlatch and spring open. And I will have you do checks when necessary for reading it. What about everyone else? Are you taking like a short rest here, or are you just taking a for as long as it takes type of rest, or what's the deal?
I would assume probably for as long as it takes.
Yeah.
Yeah, Xena's just gonna spar
Yeah.
and then patrol because she
And
doesn't
I'll-
need to rest right now.
Eventually grab Xena and take her on a hunt at some point, just to get energy out of Xena.
Okay.
Not that we really need food, we're just more tracking than actually hunting.
Well, I'd also
So-
like to put up the hut just as a safety precaution.
Yep, not a problem. Not a problem at all. You assume this area is at least somewhat safe because those two guards are still standing by the roadblock and they haven't been assaulted by anything yet, as far as you can tell. So probably not too many dangers in the area. And so all of you can get the effects of a short rest if you need it. Yixis, you can give me an Arcana check to begin trying to track down the spell that uses that particular component.
Natural 20 again. 27.
Okay, well, it's not going to take nearly as long as I thought it would.
Role playing nat 20s.
I guess similar question to when you opened up her bag. Are you just looking for that one specific spell, or is there anything else you want to kind of peruse for in this high-level spell book?
I mean, trust me, I want to know. But Yixis is worried about what that spell was. So he's skimming, trying to find first, indexing component and then silver thread. So
Okay.
whatever that means to you, there you go.
Okay. Well, I believe this is the only spell that she has that uses silver of any kind, so you find it fairly quickly. And what you discern from this book as you track down the right combination of runes to reveal its secrets to you is that this was likely a spell that is labeled in the book as entropic damage field. It is a transmutation spell. And what it does is it essentially creates a connection between all creatures in a 60-foot radius of the caster. And any creature that takes damage while connected in this way has that damage divided evenly between all creatures that are connected in that way. So if you and her were connected and she took 60 damage, you would take 30 and she would take 30.
Okay. So potentially bad depending on the situation, but
Yes, because it does not discern between friend or foe. There is mechanically, but there's a save involved. It's a charisma save, and it can connect friend and foe together. So if you deal like Ash or Tickle's level damage, like 200 damage to a foe while connected, well, that gets divided between everybody.
The whole party wipes.
Zara, can you bring Reen in the hut, please?
Yeah, like she would have brought her in. She wouldn't have left her out.
And does it say how long this thing lasts for?
Yes. Normally, this is a spell that lasts for about a minute, as long as concentration is maintained. It has been well past a minute, and it still seems to be active. Similarly, your summoned Fae, by the end of the 1 hour short rest period, usually it would have dissipated by then. I believe that spell has a duration of an hour. But after the hour, the Fae is still there.
Oh boy. Okay. This is interesting.
Can Subira do an Arcana check to see what's going on? She would kind of notice, like, oh, they don't stay out that long. That's weird.
Yeah, sure. You can absolutely give me an Arcana
If
check.
if she looked inquisitive, Yixis would explain.
She sees everything. Not a natural 20, but a natural 19.
Natural 19, okay.
For 25.
25, okay. Yeah, you absolutely know that that Fae should have been gone by now. It is clearly not. And it appeared at the same time as this arcane burst. And, excuse me, and you noticed Yixis going through first his bag and then Reen's bag soon after, as you were approaching him after that arcane burst. So perhaps, even though the Fae is listening to him, it was not inherently summoned by him and is being held here by some other means.
What are you finding out in that spell book? Because something is clearly amiss.
Oh, you put that together, did you? And
Yes.
then I'll explain.
Yep. So he will explain to you everything that I assume everything that he determined during the arcane burst and the conclusions that he came to after finding the components that were first glowing and then strangely cold, and the spells that were somehow cast.
Yeah, she's the only other arcane Gnoll in the group, so she might be able to help.
Yeah, is there anything that I've ever read or have researched or anything that may sound like something crazy happening with this? Like if this is a particular magic type or anything?
Give me a history check.
You're a screaming child, it's fine. She's cool. She's cool. History, even better. Let's see. Weird rolling in the dark. Let's see here. That is a 22.
22, okay. You have not necessarily read about anything that specifically details the outcome that you're seeing, but you have read about rituals, powerful rituals that have had unintended effects or have gone wrong somewhere at some point during the ritual, and the casters of the ritual have been inflicted by not always something negative, but just something unexpected, some sort of arcane chaos from these botched rituals, and even a couple instances where certain casters have tried to conduct rituals that were well beyond their means and have only completed like part of it, and those effects linger despite the ritual failing overall. So perhaps something along those lines has happened here. You're not very familiar with ley magic, geomancer stuff, which is what Reen has described herself as before.
Mm-hmm.
So that may be a part of it as well, some sort of crazy geomancer effect going on. You aren't entirely sure, but those are all possibilities that you can come up with.
I am unfamiliar with the sort of magics that Reen uses. However, you can use any form of magic, and if something is too powerful or isn't used often or even experimental, it could have some side effects, which is perhaps what you are experiencing.
And you both do recall Green saying that she has never done a ritual like that before. She knew about it, but she's never actually done it before.
I do recall, and you were there when Reen mentioned that she has never performed that spell before, so my conclusion would be that this is a side effect from that spell.
Maybe when she wakes up, she might know something about potential side effects. Just be careful, because whatever was cast, if anybody in 60 feet of her takes damage, we all take some of it. Which, I mean, I can see that being useful, but I can also see it being bad.
Very good to know. You're right, in the right situation, that actually could be useful.
Also
But
sounds
dangerous.
incredibly dangerous. Yes.
Well, magic is always dangerous, so I do agree.
I do have a question on the side.
Yes.
If somebody were to use that and fireball an entire group of people being affected by that, would that multiply the damage?
It would not, unfortunately. That would be awesome if it did, but it would all just work out to everyone taking the same amount of damage.
Okay.
Unfortunately, sir.
Yeah, unfortunately.
I mean,
Like,
Imagine
if you
having
can
somebody
cast that
with
on somebody
that.
and go fireball.
Yeah, exactly. Somebody with that ability paired with like one of Kyo's fireballs, that would be amazing.
I would allow it.
This sounds
allow it.
like drunk mage in a tower kind of magic.
I would allow it too if you guys were like level 12 or something. But
It's this way of magical thinking. This is how you get bugbears. Not bugbears, but owlbears.
There you go.
Drunken mages, make weird stuff.
That's the type of thing that if somebody wanted to create that effect, I would essentially create like a downtime clock for them to work to develop altering that spell so it produces that effect.
I love the altering spells for personal effects.
Absolutely.
I think that's one of the coolest systems ever. How we came up with the foxtail whip for Samala.
So, having reached the conclusions that you have, and Iza and Xena burned off some energy out hunting, you all come together once again on the path, unless there was anything specific that anyone else wanted to do.
I mean, while we were waiting, after observing and coming to that conclusion, I'm sure Subira would be reading.
Yep,
Naturally.
naturally.
You do.
So it's
I would
about
continue looking in the spell book too, just to see what potential there is ahead.
okay.
That look on your face.
Give me another Arcana roll.
Well, not as high, but 19.
19. Okay. Wow. I rolled a d20 and it was the exact same number again. Okay. So you are, I was going to say paging through the spell book, but that's not how this one works. You are gearing through the spell book, and you happen to come across a few other spells that you don't fully understand. You assume they're very high level spells. Some of them seem to have some really beneficial effects to them, but others appear to be very destructive as well. You even come across one spell in particular that would be of great interest, I think, to Subira, that allows a person to essentially get machine-like stamina. It allows them to go for a full day with no food, no drink, no rest. They can move at 3 times their normal speed. They can perform like 3 times the usual amount of labor that a normal person can do.
Jesus.
They can read at 3 times the normal rate a person typically can. So there's
The
some
last 4.
really interesting spells in this contraption of a spell book that Breen has.
I'm sorry,
What level is
is
that
this
one?
spell just, Bigby's Adderall?
Yes.
Believe it or not, it's a first level spell.
What?
It doesn't help you in like battle and stuff like that. It's a utility spell.
Oh, that's
It
totally fine.
essentially
Copying
lets
it down.
somebody act like a machine for a day instead of a person. They don't have to worry about being fatigued by doing manual labor. They can spend
For
a
a
whole day
day?
in a library and get 3 times the amount of work done. So it's like Adderall.
Does it
First
have an
level spell
upcast
for the
benefit?
day.
Congratulations, you invented magic Adderall.
It does not have an upcast benefit, unfortunately, but
Little
it
sucky
does.
for warlocks that way, but
It does make you immune to non-magical exhaustion, so that's good.
Yeah, I'm copying that down.
Bitch, share that knowledge.
Right as you think to yourself, I'm copying that down, Reen starts to rustle a bit.
Oh,
And
okay.
you see her. If you had come across that on the first inspection, you absolutely would have had time for that.
It was fine.
But she starts to rustle, and it looks like she is waking up, but she is very, very groggy. And even when her eyes open, it's like you can tell that she's not fully processing where she is and what's happening.
Reed,
Good morning.
Reed, are you okay?
What happened?
Oh, a lot. Tell her everything.
And she just looks at you with blank eyes. Like she hears it, but she doesn't understand it.
How do you feel?
Tired? Are we okay?
It worked.
Good.
But there does seem to be some residual effects. And I'll show her my arm with scarring, and I'll point to scarring on her.
And when she sees it on herself, she kind of like tries to pull down her sleeves, but it's not very successful because her sleeves aren't long, and it's just kind of awkward to watch. Are you okay?
Yeah, but we did walk quite a distance from the ley line, and about an hour and a half ago, it was like the ley line wanted to strike us again, and then it did. Here.
Oh, that's a problem.
Yeah. And I unintentionally cast a spell when that happened. Say hi to my Fae friend, who's still here after an hour.
Hi. It kind of waves back at her.
How
And,
long is that going to stay, anyways?
I don't know. Actually, you know what? Let me try something. It's a concentration spell. I'm going to try to drop concentration.
You try to drop concentration, and you aren't concentrating on anything, so there's nothing to drop.
Yeah, that might be here for a bit. And Reen, the same kind of thing happened to you. And when I figured that out, I looked for what component might have been used. It was this silver thread, and so I didn't know what that meant. And I looked through your book. I'm sorry, but it was apparently this spell. And I say which spell it was, and it's still going.
Oh. Can you dispel?
No.
I can try.
Me neither. Oh,
I can try.
Okay.
And then I will try to cast Dispel Magic on the threads.
okay. And you feel Dispel is
Third level.
first,
Third level.
Okay, yeah. So you don't need to roll anything. Yeah, you feel that you are successful in dispelling the thing that you targeted.
Did it?
Oh, okay. That was easy.
I think it worked. Do you see the threads anymore?
No, you do not. So that's good, right?
This may be weird, but I'm going to try something. I bite my hand real quick.
Okay. Your teeth sink into your hand, and it hurts.
Does anybody else flinch?
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, nobody else flinches.
Zara gives you a very concerned look.
Are you okay, Gixus?
I was just about to ask the same thing.
Just realized if Xena and Isa were sparring around the campsite, did everyone else feel every one of those punches?
Normally, that would be a yes. However, they did drag Reen into the dome, and
Okay.
magic cannot penetrate that dome from the inside or outside. I was hoping that they were going to leave Reen out as soon as you two said you were sparring, but they didn't.
Like, why am I sore?
Why do I feel like I just got socked in the face?
Yeah, it's like Xena just like haymakers haymakers Isa across the face, and Isa could take it, but then all of a sudden Zara drops knocked out on the ground.
All the casters just like fall over, and we're like,
What happened?
what?
I feel like it would take a few minutes for Ethan and Xena to realize what was happening too, so like everyone would be knocked out while we're just staying there like, what the fuck?
Does Reen look like she still has like exhaustion on her, or
She does, yeah.
Okay,
not as much as before, but it's evident she is still exhausted.
would a lesser restoration work here?
It would not. You've tried it before.
That's right.
I think we
And
also tried the glass spyglasses.
yeah, I believe you guys reached the conclusion that it was some sort of magical exhaustion that she's suffering from. So, are you going home?
Yes.
I suppose.
By way of the Colosseum, I think.
That's the decision we made, but if you'd like, we can escort you to, what was that town called? The dwarf one? Delore?
Delore.
Yes.
I have been there before.
Yes, I don't know if you want to follow us through the desert, but we can see you to Delore.
I should continue my search.
Oh,
The bear just blinks at the party. Probably the first time anyone's ever seen her blink.
Xena looks pointedly in like any other direction.
so we
Ethan
have,
staring at her feet.
I have information for you on that, but we will speak when you're 100%.
Okay. Where do we go from here then?
Well, she kind of gestures over to like the barricade and everything. Those two are currently stopping us from crossing at the moment. Side across the on the other side, it's flooded.
Oh,
Couple days,
mean,
water should
They're not
recede.
stopping us. I mean, we can
No,
go.
Stopping,
It's totally a
us.
path.
But we wanted to make sure that you were able to move before we began our trek.
I am too tired to walk, but Yixis can carry.
How
Sure.
how about you sit on one of our shoulders? We're a bit taller than Yixis.
Does
Yes.
anyone know water walk?
No.
What a what?
You know, I
No.
pick water walk almost always, and I'm like, we're desert nose. When are we ever gonna ski near water?
Yeah, you just
Womp womp.
step in it and then you just keep walking. I'll show you. It's really easy.
No.
It's like wet sand. It gets probably sticky, I imagine.
I've
don't
been
know.
in water before. I know that.
Oh, well then why are you asking? It's a weird question.
Reen, do you happen to know the spell?
No. But it's not a problem. We will sit on Yixis's shoulder. We will be very small.
If you want,
As in a spell to shrink you down.
No.
if we
A
wait,
potion.
if we wait a day, I will be able to cast Water Walk
Ugh, waiting more.
because I'm a druid.
If
Yo,
we must.
Yo, nature, give me the ability to walk on water.
The only reason I am willing to wait an extra day is your vision you mentioned earlier of rushing water and something ahead. If we have something to better prepare us for if that happens,
That's if
I
we
am willing
wanted.
to wait.
That's if we wanted to walk down the riverbed.
We should. It's faster.
That's not
Plus, if
how
we
the river
backtrack,
works.
aren't we gonna like make those
No,
horse
we
people angry?
No, we can walk across the flooded area. We don't have to go down to the riverbed and walk down that way.
Yeah. I'm confused.
I have
I mean,
polymorph potion. I will drink it and sit on Yixis's shoulder or in his bag.
Oh, okay, that makes more sense. As Yixis is trying to like unsuccessfully pick her up.
Maybe you can keep his snake eggs buddies. Friends.
How
Is
long?
What time is
Snake
it?
Yeah, we
eggs.
go.
Oh
He's
my-
hatching some eggs.
Oh my god.
How
So-
late in the day is it?
It is, let's see, you guys got up around. It's about noon.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So yeah, still a lot of day left.
Yeah, and you know it'll take roughly 6 hours to get to the other side of the flooded road. So still doable if you guys wanted to do it today.
Did my eggs explode? I'm checking my pouch.
Oh no.
So you
Oh my
look
God.
into your bag and you see it was the 2 eggs in there, right?
Yeah,
So it
one that had
exploded all
survived
went in
through
the
the
bag.
ritual and had
The-
an arcane mark on it.
Yeah. The glow of the arcane mark on that one is a little more pronounced than it was before. And the other egg seems fine.
Okay.
When's
So
that thing
just
gonna
big sigh
hatch
of
anyways?
I don't really know.
Been in there forever.
Like 3 days.
Yeah,
It's a long time.
very long time.
A real long time. What do you guys want to do?
Well, we can wait,
Ugh.
or we can let Reen drink her potion and sit on Yixis as we attempt to cross the flooded area.
Yeah, whatever you guys want to do. Just let me know.
I am willing to try.
I am too, but
Mm,
I am a little scared. Rushing water.
It's not.
Not-
No. It's
not
not.
the best on my feet.
It's not rushing. The way we are going, the water is calm. The
Just
rushing
flood it.
water is farther down. If we wanted to go
Okay.
near, where the actual river is at, that's when we would encounter the rapids.
Okay.
how long before that potion thingy wears off? I know they don't last very long.
Would
ones,
you know
I
that?
think.
Would Isa know that?
He is smart enough to know that much that they don't last forever.
Yeah, potions.
I don't think we've
I mean, the
noticed
Gnolls
anyone
use
using
them a
potions
lot,
yet.
especially in their war bands when they're
Oh,
heading
okay.
out
Mhm.
to, slaughter people, as Gnolls do. Um,
Only a lot of people.
Like
Yeah.
you do.
this one is long lasting. It will last for 8 hours.
That should be enough time. We should be able to make it across in less than 8.
You turn into something like useful, something that won't like.
She's exhausted. Don't make her fight.
How about just as a precaution, you change into a octopus or something, so if something were to happen and you fall in the water, you will be okay. Plus,
Okay.
suction cups for a stronger grip.
Can I make a nature check to know that an octopus can't survive in a river?
Sure.
There's river octopuses.
I mean, she said the smart person said an octopus survives, so
More importantly, can Reen make a check
Yeah,
to
right.
make sure
Yeah,
she
I
knows
mean,
what to
if
turn
it-
into that can
If
survive?
it helps, there is such thing as freshwater octopuses.
Yep, there is.
Sorry, octopi.
There is.
But would the Knolls from the desert know this?
Would we know
I
about an
read,
octopus
so
period?
yes.
not.
I
Um,
read, so yes.
I mean, you
Uh,
also don't know what kind of water this is. You
yeah.
just know that it's flooded into the road.
So-
I mean, we could wait
that's a
for her
23.
to take the potion, lick the water, and go, "Oh, it's salt water. Oh, it's fresh water."
23.
What?
Okay.
Rain, just
so
turn into a bull shark. It's fine. You'll be fine.
Zara, you do know that there are species of octopus that can survive in fresh water. Again, you have no idea what kind of water this is, though. I mean, it's a flooded road, so it could be marshy water, it could be swampy water, it could be filthy water, it could be crystal clear water. You don't actually know. So turning into an aquatic animal without knowing is a bit of a gamble.
And I'll
Be
relay that
strong
to
enough-
everyone.
Well, I would wait for Reen to take it so it lasts longer until we approach the river, of
Green,
course.
do you have a choice of what you turn into, or is it just the potion predetermined?
Yeah, we were going to turn into a crow so we could fly away.
There we go.
I mean,
That
that
makes
makes
That's thinking.
perfect sense.
That's thinking. That's
But you're already one.
probably
I
for
feel
the
like you'd
best.
want to switch it up, you know?
If you no, I like my wings.
we didn't, think of the flying thing first because we don't really do that very
Fly?
often.
I mean, we could if we throw Yistus hard enough, we could probably make him fly.
Yeah. Well, obviously, but
He's small enough to throw.
not normally.
Just
I
wait.
think.
Just wait until the people pole is taken out of storage.
So let's go.
Please, no.
Water path.
Yeah,
Yep.
if you are ready, I will drink it right away.
Are we good?
I'm ready. Let's go.
Sure, yeah.
All
Do
right.
this.
So, Yixis, are you dropping the dome?
Well, the second I step out of it, it'll drop.
Okay. So the second you step out of it, Zara,
Ah,
you hear a familiar voice in your head.
oh no.
It's not a demon lord of any kind, don't worry. But it is your matriarch. Zara, change of plans.
Oh no.
You and your group need to head to Dolur. We have a trade convoy waiting there, and they need an escort.
Is this a message spell or is this just?
It's ascending, so you could respond if you wanted to.
That is a very odd coincidence. We were headed to Dolor to drop Reno. We'll meet them there.
Okay. You feel your response has indeed gone through. Who knows how many times she tried when you were in the dome?
how many spell slots did Yith waste?
I don't know.
It's like,
How
for the
angry
love
did
of
she sound?
God.
Yith, give me your
Answer
cell
me.
phone.
Did she sound just normal angry? Did she sound extra angry?
She sounded tired.
She kind of
She sounded pregnant.
changes her. She
Yeah.
kind of like nods a moment, and then everyone hears her speak to someone. We got new orders. We're going to Delore. Trade convoy needs an escort back.
That's so boring.
Why?
Matriarch said to do it.
I don't really do.
We've been given a glorious
Look,
task, and we
look,
shall complete it. Let's
look.
go.
It may be a faster way home.
Hey,
And it will bring us
I have a
glory.
wagon you can ride on.
There's
Indeed.
that. You could do
And
lots of
read.
reading, and I could fight things that attack.
Who knows? Maybe the convoy will be attacked by a dragon. You'll
Yes,
Finally
we
get
can
that
only
fight.
hope.
I have no problem with the traveling part. It's the being an escort errand Gnoll when I don't. Whatever.
Oh,
Just
come
think
on.
of it as how you're traveling back into the desert. Fine.
Okay. Fine.
I mean, it is boring, but it's fine.
And as you are discussing the message, you see out of the corner of your eyes, Reen downs a potion that she has pulled from her bag, immediately poofs and turns into a small corvid, which flaps up onto Yixis's shoulder and caws very loudly in his ear.
Ow.
And then caws again very loudly, trying to apologize, but it's bird speak, so it's just a lot of really loud screeching.
I'll just scritch her with a finger under the beak.
And she does the thing that birds do where their neck feathers like puff out. And then she hops down to your waist and like gets into your bag that I assume is just kind of hanging off of you somewhere, and just like pops her head out the opening.
It's an
That's
adorable
cute.
picture.
That's really cute.
All right.
I'll turn to the face spirit. I guess come with.
And it gives you a big thumbs up, and then it disappears.
Oh,
That's rude.
Typical Fae.
Xena is walking.
I hope she's okay.
Yeah, I'm following Zena.
Yep.
We're heading off.
Xena's over it.
Zara's. I think Zara will take the lead with the quarterstaff of flowers, and pretty much as they're walking, kind of like poking ahead of them, making sure no one's gonna hit, like sink into a deep spot.
So as you approach the barricade to proceed down the flooded path before you, we are going to go ahead and take our first break of the evening. So everyone can get up and refresh their drinks and cool off if you need to cool off. And we will be back in just a few moments.
Alrighty.
Our
Oh wait, I'm the one that takes us. Okay, that's right.
Yes, yes, you are.
That's
Yeah,
you.
That's your job.
And we are
One's I'm gonna stop talking now. I'm gonna stop talking about that now. I'm gonna talk about other things now. But that's okay. I don't mind stopping at. It's a bit dangerous because. So, you guys proceed down the path before you, and it sounds like Zara and potentially an eager Xena
Yep.
are taking the lead.
Xena's gonna follow Zara's like example and take another one of her javelins, a normal javelin, and kind of start poking it in front of her, like Zara is. Kind of catching on to what Zara's trying to achieve. She's gonna help with that.
That is good to know. That will affect some potential DCs for environmental stuff. So as you guys proceed past this barricade, I assume paying no real mind to the two guards that just they let you by. As they stated to you earlier, they weren't going to do anything to stop you because they literally couldn't. So they let you by, and it's not too far down the path that the soil beneath your paw pads begins to soften and moisten and make a gross kind of squelching noise as you're walking. It's not really pleasant, but it's wet dirt. What do you expect? And before too long, you find yourselves walking into water that is completely covering the path and the forest around you. And the environment is shifting as you go forward into this humid, swamp-like area. I mean, it's a forest teeming with plant life, and it's now being flooded. So it is exactly what you would expect. It is warm. It is humid. There are insects everywhere. A lot of noise from these lively bugs, but otherwise, it doesn't seem too bad. It even gets to a point where it's almost kind of serene to walk through this landscape. As the water level rises, it gets up to the point where it's just short of Yixis's hip. I think Yixis is the shortest among you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it's just short of his hip. So it's for the rest of you, it's like midway on your thighs, I would assume. So it's fairly deep water, but not so deep that it's impassable. There doesn't seem to be
the bag.
Yeah, the little bird Reen in your bag. She like pulls her wings out and kind of hoists them on the edge of the bag so she doesn't get stuck in there if you happen to go underwater. And there's no evident current in the water, but as you proceed down this path, it almost looks like this water has been here for much, much longer than the guards have let on. The plant life around you turns from like the typical ferns and ivies and such that you'd expect to see in a forest to almost seaweed-like plants, and some plants that are sitting on the surface of the water that look like they would naturally grow in this type of environment, which is a bit strange.
Is it like a mangrove? Does it look kind of like more like a mangrove forest where there's like roots kind of raised up and going into the water?
There are, exactly like that, with the addition of like tall water grasses and lily pads and lotus flowers and all the stuff you would expect to see in an environment that is naturally flooded like this.
Okay.
Of course, you guys as Gnolls wouldn't necessarily know this because you're from the desert, and plant life is a dead looking tree and a dead looking cactus to you, but otherwise
I think just to be safe, I'm going to cast Pass Without Trace.
Okay.
To at least give us a little more protection when it comes to having to wade through this.
Easy enough to do. And as soon as you cast that, you notice that the ripples that you're leaving in the water as you walk through it are significantly lesser than they were before. Something that's as far as like 30 feet out may not even feel the ripples in the water from you passing by, thanks to this pass without a trace.
Does Subira even leave any in the water
It's probably not, no.
with her boots?
Yeah. With have you ever explained your boots to the rest of the party? I don't think you have.
Nope.
I didn't even know you
Okay.
had boots.
Yeah.
Kind of
So-
weird
Well,
for a
I
gnome.
guess
Shoes?
as
In the
I guess as
picture
a
of it.
knoll for flavor, they're not
they're
really
like-
boots. They're like bracers.
Yeah. They're
Little
like
leg
leg
wraps.
bracers.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's like you're not even in the water, Subira. There's just no ripple, no movement around you at all. And so, as you proceed into this swamp-like terrain, if the leader could go ahead and give me some travel rolls.
Xena's gonna grab a lotus while we
okay.
pass one by and put it in her behind her ear.
You
This
can
is probably-
absolutely do that. It is a very beautiful light pink and white lotus.
Ease has probably been complaining for a while now about the wet, squishy stuff between her toes. She doesn't like it. Feels gross.
All right. First travel check here I'll make with survival.
Okay.
15, so 22.
22. Okay. Followed up with that percentile.
That'll be a 28.
Okay. Could be worse.
You know, it's probably a good idea to put Sirenscape on.
Probably.
Very serene music going on right now.
Literally anything but death butterfly, I will accept.
Well, the first
Land
roll
sharks.
You
is
say that.
really good. So, you proceed forward down what you assume is the path. You assume it's the path because it seems to just be the area with the most, that's cleared the most. A lot of the trees and foliage and stuff is quite dense around you. So there's a few areas that could split off into other directions, but you tend to stick to the path that is the most open. And you travel for a good hour, hour and a half, just taking in the sights around you. Occasionally you'll see a little creature swim through the water past you. Doesn't really pay you any mind. Doesn't seem to attack you or anything. It's probably just a little fish of some kind. It's quite a nice travel despite being waist high in water. I wanted to say waist high in water deep for a moment there. I'm like, why do I want to say that?
Aww.
Oh, that's right.
Memories.
Now I'm sad. Yeah, so you travel for like an hour, hour and a half. Nothing seems to be going awry in any way until
It
Ixis.
does.
Until it does.
Oh.
You hear a voice, a little itty bitty voice in your ear.
No, I don't.
You certainly do, and it says to you as soon as I can open up the character sheet associated with it.
Who is it talking to?
It is talking to Yixis.
Okay.
And Yixis, you hear this voice say, I suggest you come with me. Could you make a wisdom saving throw for me, please?
Why do I feel I know what spell that is?
I don't know.
Nothing in that spell says you have to use the word suggest, but I like doing it anyway.
You said wisdom save, correct?
A wisdom save. Yep.
That's going to be a 17, and I hope that makes it.
17. Okay. Yeah. You feel the effects of magic like press in on your mind, but you're able to resist them and fend off this suggestion spell. And then you hear a little splash behind you. And as you turn around to look at whatever this thing was that just tried to cast this spell on you, you don't see anything other than some ripples dissipating in the surface of the water.
Guys, something just tried to control me.
Where? I'll kill it.
It's flashed off that way.
All right. Xena's gonna push her way through to the back, go in the area that Yixis directed, and start stabbing her javelin in the general area.
Okay.
We should
Here?
probably get away.
Over here?
No, we should probably go further
They
away.
keep point over here.
You're stabbing around in the water.
Oh, God.
You hit some plants. You hit a rock or two, a piece of decaying wood. You don't seem to strike any creatures.
I think it's the water's messing with your head, dude.
Oh no, something definitely tried to cast a charm effect on me.
Oh, I hate those.
If it happens again, kill it.
Tell you what, I'll walk behind Yexis.
Good
That way,
plan.
if he does anything weird, I can grab him.
What about you, though? Who's gonna watch you if you do something weird?
Yexis?
All right, you guys walk side by side.
Buddy system.
I'll go back up with Zara.
Alright.
I'll just stay in the middle so I can keep an eye on both.
Sounds like a good plan. Don't want anyone wandering off into the water.
Okay. So, as you are discussing this plan, trying to picture the layout of you guys here. I think this will work. Zara,
Yeah.
you hear in your ear a little voice. I suggest you leave that fancy staff behind. Give me a wisdom save.
That is a 23.
Oh, Jesus Christ. All right, you're a druid.
You're going after
Yes.
entirely the wrong
Attack
people
the
for wisdom
wisdom of the
saves.
druid.
That was on me. Yeah,
You
you feel the magic press on your mind as well, and are
can
easily able to fend it off.
like as I hear that, can I instinctively like spin around and swing the staff?
Yes.
Can I also
Whereabouts are you swinging it?
Where in the proximity did I hear the voice?
You heard it like this creature was speaking directly into your ear, like it was almost sitting on your shoulder and speaking into your ear.
Zara
I
whacks
think-
herself in the head.
I
by
think
accident.
with that she would just do like a full 360 swing with it.
Okay. So you do the full 360 swing, and as you turn to face in the opposite direction you were when you heard the voice, you see just the tip of what looks like a bright green tail dipping into the water, and
How far away?
disappears.
How
It's
far
like
away?
right next to you, but it's as soon as it goes and breaks the surface of that water, it's gone. It vanishes.
Whoa,
me
what's going on?
Not just swims away, but visually vanishes.
give me a moment. About 15 feet out from me, I'm gonna cast Cold Lightning on the water.
Okay.
Oh,
You
boy.
can absolutely do that.
Water?
Well, I have my backup character ready.
No, it's fine.
It's fine because it
she-
only extends 5 feet. So
Yeah.
so it's a 10-foot. It's like instead of 5-foot radius, it's a 10-foot radius from
Hey,
impact.
I don't know if there's gonna be some water logic going on here.
Despite water being a really good conductor, it is also really, really good at dissipating electricity. So yeah, your lightning strikes down, and its area of effect is larger than normal. Doesn't reach you guys though, and a couple fish float to the surface, clearly
Snacks.
dead. Yeah, snacks, but nothing matching the visuals that you saw for just a brief moment.
Okay.
Jesus,
Xena
I
grabs
collect
some
dead
of the
fish.
fish. Yep. Xena needs to grab the fish.
Grab
Start
fish or
snacking.
snacking.
Yep. We had the same thought.
Right
Yeah.
now, I'm just thinking about yelling out, "Kill circle."
Yes. I watched that movie last night.
Yeah, the fish are fresh. They're not poisoned in any way. They're not toxic. You can snack on them now or save them for later. Up to you.
Little
But it is
sparky.
good food.
He's a snack on now.
And slightly fried.
They may be a
Mhm.
little
They're
spicy from
crispy.
the electricity.
They're crispy.
Yeah, just it's extra flavor.
Yeah.
Zap.
Some try to mess with your head too, Zara, or did you see something?
Yes. Something told
Oh.
me to leave my staff behind, and then I swung, and then I saw a little green tail diving into the water.
Hmm.
A little green tail?
Yes.
Maybe- I guess
I-
we should keep going, see if we can leave it behind.
Yes,
I'm on. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I just want to say Yixis is on high alert, just eyes constantly swiveling, looking for anything that surfaces. We've got a
Same with Subira.
couple.
Want to sit on my
reactionary
shoulders
things.
for better visual? See part.
For what I'm thinking, I need to actually be able to touch the water.
Xena just loudly proclaims, "Coward, show yourself and fight with honor. Stop
Actually,
using your tricks."
Subira is going to take out this tree branch with just a few little bit of leaves on it, and it's got some string wrapped around a few of the branches with some golden bells hanging off of it. And she's gonna go ahead and shake it once to make this really beautiful soft chime just kind of echo and reverberate around her. And she's going to detect the presence of aberrations, celestials, constructs, elements, fae, fiends, or undead within 60 feet of me.
In 60 feet of you. Okay.
I'm sensing their presence or detecting their presence.
Does it give you an exact location or just a general direction?
It just says within 60 feet of me.
Okay. Yes.
Even if they're
so
covered or invisible, it still has me detect them, but it doesn't tell me where they are.
you detect the presence of 9 fae within 60 feet of you.
Well, this is unsettling. There are 9 fae creatures somewhere around us. They're fairly close.
Of course.
We need to either hustle or find a way to lose them. But if you saw a green tail, I am assuming they could be aquatic.
Then let us move double time.
Can do. Anyone want to ride?
Yeah.
All right, hop on, buddy.
So Yixis has his tiny servant, his flying serpent wrapped around him, and 2 eggs and Reen in the back.
On Xena's shoulders.
On Xena's shoulders.
So you guys are proceeding forward, hoping to have these things either lose interest in you or just leave you alone.
Iza will take up the rear of the group.
Okay. So you continue traveling and travel for about 15 more minutes uninterrupted. And then I need a perception check from Yixis.
Yay, +1. I don't know how I did it, but that's my 3rd nat 20 in a row.
Oh, jeez.
I saw that rubbing in the head. I'm like, oh, did you get a 2?
No. So 21.
21, okay. Xena,
Yup.
you hear a little voice in your ear.
Uh-oh,
Oh,
here's where it
no.
goes bad, guys.
Yeah.
I suggest you drop them in the water.
Oh.
Make a wisdom save for me.
Okay. Don't think I have anything to help me with this. Nope. All right. Roll. Okay. It's not great, guys. It's gonna be an 8.
8 is not going to be high enough. So you suddenly, Xena, have the inclination to just dunk Yixis right into that water.
Okay. So Xena picks Yixis up and just drops him right in front of her.
And everybody sees this happen. You're just walking along on your merry way. And then suddenly Xena just decides, yeah, I'm not carrying you anymore, and tosses Yixis off right into the water.
I just drop him in front of me if possible, but based on the directions of it just said to put him in the water, right? So I just drop him right in front of me.
Yeah.
And then how do I feel afterwards after I accomplish the suggestion?
You feel that. Does this one. Some of these. Let me reread the spell real quick. Yeah, okay. You don't know you're magically persuaded to do this, but
Okay.
given what your companions just went through 15 minutes earlier, it's a safe bet that something persuaded you to do it with magic.
I will apologize. Yeah, because I'm sorry. It just seemed like a really good idea at the time to drop you in the water. It was really weird. I'm so sorry. You probably don't want to be there. Let me help you up.
As Yixis went under the water, split seconds later, you just see 2 bags go above the water.
With a very wet bird popping out of one of them.
I'm so sorry. I don't know why that sounded like it just seemed like a really good idea to drop you in the water at the time. I don't.
Xena, it probably wasn't you. Did anybody see a tail or anything?
Nobody saw anything.
Something messed with my head.
Yeah,
I hate that.
probably.
Stop this, you cowards! Fight me like with honor. Don't you have weapons? This foolish trickery is just.
Yeah,
Really-
maybe we
Those
should
might
provoke
be
them.
their
Maybe.
weapons.
Well, they suck.
Xena,
Look, we're just trying to leave. We just want
Make
to
a
leave. That's all.
persuasion check for me, Xena.
Me? Okay.
Yeah, see if you can persuade these things into fighting you.
Well, I'm sitting there trying to persuade them to just leave us alone and let's walk.
I rolled a 14, so it wasn't the best. I have a decent persuasion, but I rolled low.
Okay, and they do not show themselves.
I suggest we keep running.
Does anyone have to make a
Likely
wisdom save for
good
that, or are you
plan.
just generally suggesting?
I'm making a mundane suggestion.
Ixis, you probably don't want to be on my shoulders. This happens a lot when there's these kind of creatures. I don't like my head being messed with, and I don't. Yeah.
We really need to find a way to help you protect your brain.
Yeah.
Okay. No, seriously, we're just trying to go. We don't want any trouble. Okay. Bye.
Zara's gonna turn and just like place her hand on Xena's forehead and cast resistance to give her a little extra D4 to saving throws.
Thank you.
Though since I have that, Call Lightning is no longer in effect because that's a concentration as well, and neither is Passive
That's right.
Outrace.
Yes. Okay. Noted.
Though I think at the moment resistance may be a better thing for the mind games.
It may be. So you guys continue for the rest of the duration of this first block of travel. About 2 hours have passed now in this watery environment. And who is taking the lead for the next bit of travel?
If no one wants to, Zara can keep going, and she's got the waiting stick.
I mean, Subira can help out.
He's just trying to bring up the rear, so.
Going to
Yeah.
say I can help out as well if need be here.
Yeah, wouldn't mind doing that either. She's in the lead with Zara up in front.
Xerix has learned bad things happen when he leads places.
But I love it when he takes the lead.
I'll go ahead and roll. Let
Okay.
me roll.
All right, oh glorious one.
Yes.
Now, which of your stats are you relying on?
I am relying on athletics, sir. I am using my javelin to shove obstacles out of our path and poke ahead of us. And
Okay. Makes sense to me.
picking, by me being more strong in the front, I can tell when the path feels a little bit like harder and kind of guide people towards less sticky areas and things like that.
All right. Let's see those rolls.
Alrighty. Let's see. Would be a. I can't math. 19. Sorry.
19, okay. In the percentile?
And the percentile. 90.
90. Okay. So you lead the group further down this path, and as you're traveling forward, you realize that at some point in the last hour or so, you guys must have strayed pretty far from where the actual path lies. And you're able to correct yourselves. Excuse me. You're able to correct yourselves back towards the destination that you were headed initially, the end of this flooded road. That is very good. Without that roll, you would have ended up on the opposite side of the road when you came to the end of it. But you're back on the original path now, and walking towards this original path, you have to pass through a lot of heavy brush. And as you lead the group forward with your javelin poking the ground in front of you to make sure you don't step on any rotting logs or anything, twist your ankles and trip and fall in the water.
Yeah. Use my axe to handle the brush a little bit.
You hear a loud thump in front of you as you stab the javelin down forward into the water. And you've clearly struck something that is large, heavy, but hollow.
Hey, hold on a minute, guys. And I just thrust my hand into the water and grab whatever it is and pull it up.
Okay, you reach down into the water in the area where you felt this thing with your javelin, and your hand also hits the same object. Whatever it is seems to be buried fairly deep in the water here, or in the soil. So you aren't able to just immediately pull it up, but you do now know exactly where it is.
I would like to try to muscle it out.
Okay. Give me strength.
Okay. Oh god, the dice went everywhere. Hold on, dice. Oh man, that's really low for me. 16.
16.
Yeah.
You pull and you pull, and it's wedged in there real good.
Isa, can you help me with this real quick?
Sure. Reach down in the water, try and figure out where she's grabbing, find the other edge of it.
Yeah,
yank.
you're able to essentially follow her arm down into the water, and as you're feeling around, you feel what seems to be like a hinged metal handle on the side of whatever this object is that you could grab onto and pull.
All right, she's gonna grab hold of that and just yank.
I'm gonna help her yank.
Okay, so give me a strength roll at advantage.
Is Dina gonna roll that or am I?
No, you go
You
ahead.
can roll it.
I already rolled my attempt. Now Xena's following your lead.
22.
22. Okay, so the both of you prepare yourselves and you go on 3, and as you do, you hear a muffled crack from beneath the water, and you yank your hands out of the water, and that handle that you grabbed onto has broken off.
Is the water like murky around us, or is it?
It is now that you've disturbed it a fair bit.
All right. Maybe try digging. Let's try.
I mean, how do we dig and water this deep? I don't really.
I think it's like the soil's
Take a
like.
deep breath.
All right, I'm taking a deep breath. That's what I'm doing.
dig, dig, dig.
Okay, so the both of you take in your breaths, go down into the water and start digging, and you dig and manage to dig entirely around this object and are able to hoist it up out of the wet soil beneath your feet. And it seems quite light now that it's free until it breaks the surface of the water, and then suddenly it feels like it weighs a ton. And what you have in your hands is a large wooden chest. Very waterlogged wooden chest.
I'm gonna open
the
it.
wood itself doesn't seem to show any signs of rot. Inspecting where the handle was on the one side, it looks like that was just held in with like nails or something, and the nails gave way. But on the front of this chest is a large lock, and it does appear to be locked.
Anyone good with locks?
I mean, yeah, you just jam something sharp into it hard enough, and they open.
I mean, I can just take my axe to it if you want to hold it.
This is a real bad idea, but all right, I'm gonna grab the box by both ends and try and hoist it up, and so she can swing at that lock while I'm holding this box.
I'm preparing a healing spell right now because I see this going horribly wrong.
Good idea, yeah.
And I rear back my axe and swing forward to
Okay.
hit the lock.
I put the apple on my head and let my 2-year-old brother shoot it with a crossbow.
Yeah.
Go ahead and give me that attack roll.
All right.
Don't roll.
Okay.
Don't roll.
24.
24. Okay. Isa, give me a strength save.
Strength save.
Yeah.
That's really good. That is a I can math 23.
23. Okay. Xena, your axe strikes this thing exactly where you intended it to. I assume you're going for the lock itself,
Yeah.
not just like bashing into the chest.
No, going for the lock.
And it catches onto the metal of this lock and begins to twist that big, heavy chest out of your hands, Isa. And you have, at the very least, the wherewithal to just let it go as it's twisting. Because if you tried to hold on to it, you know this thing would have just spun and the corner of it would have caught you right in the head. So you let it spin and it falls back down into the water. That's what the strength save was for.
Okay.
So even if your mind didn't have the wherewithal, your muscles did. And you let it drop back into the water. Xena, you feel like you got a pretty good hit on the lock. You saw before it was dropped that the lock didn't break off, but at the very least you hit your target.
Go try and pick it up so we can do it again. One more good swing. That's all we need.
You pick it up.
Can I try something?
Yeah.
What?
Go ahead. I think this lock is bullshit. It's
Oh, you almost got it.
Not seriously, nothing should have withstood that hit. I mean, that was a solid hit from me. It was glorious. It should have popped right open. There's some trickery, some of your type of trickery, I think, going on. She points at Yixis. Make it not be lame.
Make it not be.
The lock does have a little nick in it from where the axe struck it. It's not broken. It hasn't cracked the metal. It did just leave a mark, though.
Okay. This probably won't work, but it's creative. I don't have the knock spell, sorry, but but I'm gonna try something. I'm gonna try to put as much water in the lock as possible.
Okay.
And then I'm going to put a rune on the lock.
I think I know where this is going.
It says, I'm going to try to freeze the water in the lock to expand and break the lock.
Okay. So you are able to just kind of dip that lock down into the water to make sure the mechanism inside is full, and carving the rune into it while it's in the water. As soon as you pull it out, you activate that rune. All that water inside freezes up, and you can see it actually bulging out the metal casing of this lock itself. The metal doesn't immediately break, but you're fairly confident that a good hit on it now will destroy this lock.
Oh, okay, Xena, try it again, but don't kill Isa.
I would never. Well, I mean, nah, I would never. Isa, hold on to it.
Got it.
Okay. One more swing.
Okay, that would be 23 that time.
23. Okay. Yeah. You don't even need to make a strength save for this, Isa. You feel the tension from the blow release soon after it hits, as the axe strikes into the ice that is now covering this lock. The metal loop that goes into the locking mechanism itself just shatters as soon as the axe strikes it, and the rest of this lock just falls off into the water at your feet. The chest is no longer locked.
Xena is gonna give Yixis a she's gonna hold her hand out for a mighty high five.
Probably have to jump to reach it.
Boom. Good one. Nice.
Easily give him a nod because she doesn't have a free hand to give him a pat on the shoulder.
Did you see that? He made the lock not lame.
I know.
It's good.
What's in the
Good.
box? I gotta hold it because we're only over water, but what's in the box?
All right. I'm gonna open up the box.
Okay, so you open up the box and you see inside of it something that initially makes you very disappointed. On the surface of the pile of stuff in this chest is a lot of waterlogged parchment.
Ugh, paper.
The parchment did at some point in time have writing on it, but the water has long since ruined it. The parchment is all mushy and sloppy. There's no salvaging it, and you're just getting handfuls of it and tossing it out, looking for something
Gross.
worth your while inside of this thing.
Paper.
Oh,
And
nope. She's gonna, as they're pulling the parchments out, Subira's gonna scoop them up.
okay,
What are you talking
it's-
about? No salvaging it. I'm taking it to Doctor Strange and having him do that little time turny thing.
it's
Fixes
it's
everything.
less parchment at this point and more like wallpaper glue. It's all
It can't be salvaged. It's something.
mush. I mean, I suppose if you have a parchment press, you could make new parchment out of it. But you scoop and scoop, and this thing was right full to the top with this mushy parchment.
Oh, so
And
much.
You finally reach the bottom of this chest, and you see a long, almost velveteen bag.
All right, here we
inside
go.
of
Here's
it.
the good stuff. Here's
But
the good
it's-
stuff.
It like the paper, it's very waterlogged, and it looks like bugs have been munching on it for quite some time. But as you grab it, there is something inside of it.
I opened velvet bag.
And are you pulling whatever is inside out, or are you
Yes.
just opening and looking in?
Nah, I pull it out because I'm Xena.
Okay. So everyone sees as Xena reaches into this bag, and the bag itself is about, I don't know, 1.5 feet long, and like, God, inches, such a weird measurement. 7 inches wide. Let's go with that. And you reach in, and as you're pulling this item out, dramatically slow, everyone sees the reveal of a very, very shiny, polished, what looks to be platinum and gold hilt of a dagger. And the hilt itself starts with something wrapped around the very end of it that kind of trails around, carved into the hilt itself out of the gold, the rest of it being the platinum. Looks to be a long tail that wraps around the grip of the hilt and gets to a point where the guard on the hilt looks like legs that are splayed out, and it continues up the spine of what is very clearly a dagger, and it looks to be a long lizard-like body, and it begins to merge into the blade of the dagger itself, so it's not just this like big golden mass sitting on top of it, and turns into more of a carving as wings are wrapped around the sides of this dagger, carrying over to the underside, and at the very tip it ends in the head of what is very clearly a dragon of some kind.
Subir is going to throw up a detect magic on it.
It is absolutely magical, 110%.
Hey, I found something that's pretty, although it has a picture of a stupid dragon on it, but
It's
still pretty. Ixis, hey, what is it?
it's
gonna drop it in his
magical.
hands.
Oh, I can't tell you yet, but later tonight when we make camp, I can.
All right. Sounds good. I'm gonna put it back in the velvet bag and
Is that everything out of the chest?
Yep, that
think so.
seems to be everything.
Isa's gonna pretty much like shot put this thing out of the way so you don't trip over
Okay.
it.
Good
But
one.
she's also trying to go for distance. She wants to put this thing as far out there as you can, maybe smack into a tree. I don't know.
It's really, really heavy. Give
It
me a
goes a
strength
few
roll.
feet.
Straight strength.
Goes 5 feet.
Yeah.
I guess
Straight
Xena will
strength.
put the dagger in her bag for now.
That's a 16.
16. It goes about 6 feet.
I thought
Which-
it would be a lot cooler.
Is, I mean, it's a significant distance. Zara, you probably recognize the wood that this chest was made out of after seeing it, staring at it for a bit. It is made out of ironwood, and it is waterlogged ironwood. So it's incredibly heavy.
Do I know any, like, shot in the dark here? Do I know of anybody who works ironwood? Or what sort of skill it would take to shape something that's that strong?
You know that, well, you certainly know a traveling smith that could work it.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as any crafters or smiths of any kind in Daggertree or Wraith's Cast, there is a smith in those settlements that has worked with it in the past, but it hasn't been very successful. They have made basic things out of it, like a handle for an axe or just an ordinary staff type of thing. Typically, to work ironwood, you either have to know the craft, be a master at the craft, or have like almost industrial level facilities.
Would I know how long it would take the wood, like that specific type of wood, to become waterlogged?
As waterlogged as this appeared to be, you would estimate 20 to 30 years underwater.
That makes no sense.
I know, right? I totally should be able to throw that farther.
No, the chest itself,
What about it?
judging from its condition, it's been underwater for about 20 or 30 years.
Didn't they say that this path wasn't? That's weird.
Perhaps they were being untruthful.
Or the chest was stranded here when the flooding happened, but that would have to be a very violent flood in order to move an ironwood chest.
It was pretty heavy.
Very heavy.
At that, I would like to do an Arcanum check.
Okay. What sort of information are you looking for here?
I want to see if, given has been following us and trying to toy with us, and all that, and given the time that the guards said that this has been here versus the time that obviously things have been being affected by it, I want to see if this might be one of those areas that has a weakened veil between this plane and like the Feywild, or if maybe we've completely crossed into the Feywild, although I think that's slightly less likely, but just in case.
Okay. Give me that Arcana check.
I don't know who loaded my dice, guys.
Seriously?
You should be
Another one?
saving those dice for the Tuesday game.
Nah,
Yeah.
don't save it for the Tuesday game.
That's another natural 20 for 27.
Okay.
You're gonna get nothing but ones come combat.
I know.
Something about this place definitely feels like it's being touched by magic, but not recently. It feels like a very old magic, almost like how you would expect an old druid grove to feel, but it's not druidic in any way. But it's that same type of like real deep, almost natural magic that places, sacred places or special places, magical ruins and such often have. And perhaps those guards were not revealing the whole truth to you.
Okay. So just to follow up on it and be sure, Yixis is going to tap Xerix on the shoulder, because Xerix has talked about planes and stuff like that and crossing overs and portals and whatnot. Xerix,
Yes.
do you sense anything about this place that's off from the normal, normal plane?
I sort of do the best raised eyebrow for a moment. Look around. I mean, it's not like water's pouring out of the sky out of a random hole. And I will use Detect Portal.
Okay, and refresh my memory on the distance.
1 mile.
1 mile. Okay. All right.
I was
So,
so leery to hit that ability because, yeah.
well,
You want to know, but you don't want to know.
I'm
It's like, I don't
I'm
want the answer to this.
really happy about it because, the Tuesday crew fixed some things. So
We
now I can
saved
have
part of
fun
the
again.
world.
Fixed.
Hey, we've got one more job to do, and we'll be good. It's cool. It's
The
cool.
world is
Uh-huh.
balanced once
So-
again.
As you
For
use
now.
your
Balanced.
ability to detect portals within 1 mile of you, initially you get that same kind of feeling that Yixis did about this area in particular, having some sort of deep magic to it. And perhaps Yixis was correct in the assumption that he didn't actually vocalize to anyone about it being close to the Feywild in some way, about that veil being quite thin in this part of the world. Very clearly not open. You aren't in the Feywild. There isn't a portal to the Feywild, but with that ability, you can feel the proximity almost of that plane. And you also detect an open portal high up in the sky, a place that you have become accustomed to detecting portals recently.
Like it.
And that's about it.
Well, Yixis, you might have ripped open a portal to the Feywilds.
How would I have done that?
You're the caster, you figure it out.
Didn't
Shit.
you summon some little fey creature and something in one of your bags did something strange?
I mean, I didn't mean to. Wasn't under my control.
Yet here we are.
And those guards said this was here long before that ever happened. Or maybe like 2 minutes before this happened. Yeah, so I think this area might be affected by the Feywild. Neither of those guards were Fey and they're just messing with us for fun, which would kind of make sense because that guy was doing that whole riddle thing.
Sounds like something a fey would do.
Or they're not Fey, and what's been a short amount of time for them has actually been longer in this area.
Or maybe they're just complete fools and they have no idea of the passage of time.
I mean, that's always possible.
So what I'm hearing is we need to move faster and get out of here.
Yeah, because if time is going by 30, you said like 30 years, and they said, what was it, like a couple days?
Do I know if time moves differently in the Fey wilds?
Yeah, it absolutely does.
I'm assuming it moves much faster than what we're used to.
It depends on where you are.
Oh.
The Fae are, well, they're the Fae. They
Wibbly
kind
wobbly.
of do what they want.
Timey-wimey.
Well, considering as long as we're in here, we have no idea how much time is passing outside of this area. I would say we might need to leave sooner rather than later.
Yeah, we probably shouldn't set up camp until we know we're.
They said
back in
how
a
long had
non-affected
passed?
zone.
The
I
guards
honestly
again?
wouldn't trust anything they said at this point.
Well, how long had they said?
From the way they were talking, they made it sound like they've been there for a couple days at most.
And the point at the box, that
20
is
to
not a
30
couple
years.
days.
No. Though with the portal, it may have transported. The world is in a very messed up situation right now in regards to gates and liches and portals and demons.
we should leave sooner rather than later.
Agreed.
Yeah, let's start going.
Agreed. We need to hustle.
All right, let's go then. Pick it up. Double time. Come on, people.
All right, so Zena, you lead the group for the remainder of that block of travel.
Yep.
It is relatively uneventful. Got some nice wildlife to look at along the way, some curious plants that you've never seen before, but nothing halts your travel or in any other kind of way disrupts you. So, for the next block of travel, who is going to take the lead?
Yes, will do it.
I will assist in any way possible.
I'll ask to
Okay.
borrow Xena's pokey stick that she was using to poke the ground in front of us.
There you go. I'm gonna keep watch from behind for a while.
I will continue to poke the ground as I go.
Probably best I walk towards the back for a while. That charred fish kind of did some weird shit to my stomach. Just gonna hang back.
Okay, so which of your skills, Isa, are you relying on?
Really don't remember what's been used, so I will use survival.
Survival and athletics have both been used.
And I'll
I mean,
use
you can still
perception.
use them, it just affects the DC.
I'll use perception.
Okay.
That is a 14 perception.
Okay.
And 53 on the fifth house.
14 and 53. Okay. So you are traveling along, and no more than 15-20 minutes after you take the lead, you happen to spot something standing right in the middle of the path that you intended to go down. Looking at them from the distance that you are, about 60 feet away, it's dense foliage around here, so you had to get pretty close before you actually seen them. You see what appears to be a very large, well, large for what it is anyway, bird of some kind with bright red feathers and a long beak, very long beak. And there are 3 other ones identical to it with it. And they're looking down at the surface of the water, like maybe they're waiting to snap up some fish or other creatures that are unlucky enough to swim past them. They don't appear to have noticed you quite yet.
Zara, you know
Mhm.
what those are? Point out the 3 birds.
Aside from birds, do I know what those are?
The shape of their bodies and the shape of their beak, it looks to be like maybe they're some kind of crane. But, I mean, there's not a lot of cranes in the desert, so it's not something you immediately recognize.
Do a nature roll on these
Sure.
things. Bust out the Pokedex.
Let's see what your Pokedex tells you.
Probably not a lot, since that is a 12. I'm sorry, an 11.
11? Okay, well, judging from their size and posture and what they're doing, some sort of fisher-type birds, possibly. Their coloring seems a bit odd for a forest. Not very camouflage, but I don't know, maybe it attracts the fish to the surface of the water or something.
Strange looking fisher birds.
Alright. With no cause for real alarm, this is going to keep going. They're just birds.
She gets crane kicked in the face.
He has no idea.
When you get to about 30-ish feet away from them, they all kind of pull their heads up and turn to look over at you. They've all noticed you, every single one of them, all 4 of them. But they don't seem to be moving towards you in any way. They don't seem to be like puffing out their wings or anything in a defensive or aggressive posture. But they are all standing very still and all looking directly at you.
I don't know shit about birds, so she's just gonna keep going.
Okay. So let's actually move.
Really just going to plow through if she can.
Okay.
Unless they make an aggressive move, and then she'll obviously stop. But
Let's move you guys over to a map here.
every bird she's seen so far has flown off every time we get near it, so why wouldn't these ones do the same?
Right, of course.
They're just birds. What can possibly go wrong?
Yeah.
There's birds.
Birds have machine guns.
Don't know.
So
Speaking of birds, Mad Bird Streams, thank you for that raid.
That timing.
Right?
Yeah.
So you will have to walk past them, like directly past them, if you want to get by.
So is the path like
The path is
Like here?
Where's my? Yeah, you'd have to go like here, down to here, maybe through here, type of thing.
that's the path she's going to go? Then
I'm throwing up
Okay.
detect magic again.
Okay.
she has no suspicions about these birds.
Nothing out of the ordinary for the detect magic.
Okay.
So I guess I'll move to here and see how aggressive they get.
Their heads follow you as you move, but their posture doesn't change.
And just start moving down this way.
I think, yeah, I'm going to follow Isa.
Yeah, I figured we'd all.
She really doesn't think the birds are gonna fly away if she gets close. She's just gonna pass through like right here, right next to them, and keep moving as long as they don't get aggressive.
Forward
so-
/ follow.
When you get to here, everybody move yourselves to where you would be when Isa reaches that point.
Isa reaches that point. Considering I was assisting, probably there-ish.
Okay. So, let's see here. Isa.
Mhm.
Does a 24 hit you?
A little.
Okay. So when you get to that point, right up next to this bird, you're trying to kind of slowly walk past it, its head following you. It suddenly lunges forward with its beak, pecking at you. And it strikes exactly where it intended to, and you are going to take 12 piercing damage.
Woo.
And I need a charisma saving throw from you.
Uh-oh.
Charisma save. Why does that have to be a charisma save every time? That's actually pretty good. I got an 18 on the die, so a total of 16.
Right,
16? Yeah. So 12 damage.
Okay, yeah. You are fine. However, that did kick off
Which-
initiative. I'm going to bring up the turn order here and clear it.
Do we have access to
Me
our
too,
new
you.
stuff yet from our level up or no?
Yeah, we should. We've had a long
I
rest from
believe
it.
so. Yeah,
Yeah?
you had
Okay.
because you had the long rest in the dome when the
Mhm.
butterfly swarm passed by.
Oh, okay, yeah. Cool.
Go ahead.
How many reaction to attack attacks? Initiative. I remember how to do initiative now.
Glad you did. I lost my character sheet.
Uh-oh. It's in there somewhere. I was just looking at it earlier today.
No. Something else covered it.
Oh wait, no. I can imagine.
I rolled a 5.
I
Me
actually managed to roll a
too.
19.
I rolled a 5 also.
That's my curse in these games is no matter how high my character's dex is, I will roll so low that I'm still near the bottom of the initiative.
That was
I was
the
just
life
on
of
guard, waiting for them to attack.
Heroes.
So
Well, it's like even when I was playing Ivar in the Sunday game, he had an 18 dex. I was still getting 6s.
Yeah, that's bad luck.
that's horrible.
So, as soon as this first bird pecks at Isa, the other three of them suddenly spread their wings out in a very obviously aggressive posture, and they kind of stamp their feet in the water a bit as they turn themselves to look at you as a group. And we are going to kick off the initiative with Isa.
this one's right in front of me, so I'm just going to. We will do it with her claw attack. She has that shield in one hand. So I'll make 2 claw attacks, the one in front of me.
Okay.
First one, there's no way that hits at a 9. What's that roll?
A 9?
Yeah.
That is not going to do it, I'm afraid.
And then I'm going to do a 17 to hit.
17 will hit.
Okay. So I am going to attempt to do a goading attack because that's something that goes off when I hit. I'm not a goading attack, sorry, I want a maneuvering attack.
Okay.
Attack damage roll. And I'm going to give Yixis the maneuver.
Okay.
So I basically just going to yell at her to find a good position.
So that
He's one of our
gives you
casters.
the option exists to use your reaction to move up to half of your movement speed into a more advantageous position, if you so choose to.
And that is, let's see, 6, 10, 15 points of damage, which I'm assuming goes back to slashing damage? Or is it still poison?
It is still poison.
Oh, okay. It's poison damage.
Move here without any problems.
Yeah, you can move beneath that large tree there. All right, anything else from you, Isa?
That was my 2 attacks. Bonus action. Oh, I have a shield again. I'm going to shield bash with my bonus action.
Okay.
My small little buckler. That's a 14 to hit.
13.
14.
14 will hit. Just
Okay.
hit.
And that's a d6 for the buckler. Oh, and that's actually a 6. So 6 bludgeoning damage.
Nice.
Am I adding my strength to that?
Raven, you're the expert. Do we add strength to our shield bashes?
We do add strength to shield bashes.
So it makes a total of 10.
All right.
And you got the right dice for that, right?
Yes, the d6 for the buckler.
Yes. Okay.
All
Because
right.
D4s are dumb for that.
So that will bring us to this bird here. What is their movement speed? Not great, but good enough. This one is going to move right over here.
I'm going to use a reaction to use my Halo of Spores.
Okay.
So it needs to make a Constitution saving throw.
Constitution saving throw. I don't think that's going to do it. That's a 13.
That will not do it. Cool. 6th level. Okay, so they are going to take 3 necrotic damage.
All right. 3 necrotic damage. And now it is going to make 3 attacks. The first one is
On the
going
first one, I'm going to use my reaction to impose disadvantage with my shield.
to. What's the range on that?
5 feet.
They are attacking Xerax.
Oh,
Does that make
I
a
apologize.
difference?
I thought it was Zara. My bad. It does.
So first attack is going to be a Talon attack against Xerax.
Okay.
That is going to be a 22 to hit.
That definitely does hit, yes.
Ooh, that is max damage. 14 slashing damage.
Okay.
Second attack is going to be a Talon attack against against Zara.
Okay, so second attack's against Zara.
Yep.
Then I'll do the protection.
Okay. And that gives them disadvantage on the attack, right?
Yep.
Okay. Ooh, it's a good thing too, because that would have been a nat 20. Instead, it is a
Please don't kill Zara.
18 to hit.
18 beats it by 1.
Well, at least it wasn't 20.
Yeah.
Oh, that is too shy of max damage. So you are going to take 10 slashing damage.
Okay.
And who do they want to attack with their beak? You know what? They're going to keep attacking Zara because she put mold on them.
I mean, that's fair.
I'd attack somebody if they did that to me too. That is going to be a 17 to hit.
That matches.
Okay. That one. Not great damage, but it is still 12 piercing damage.
Okay.
And I need a charisma saving throw from you.
A charisma save? That's gonna be bad. How long ago did I get that bardic inspiration? That was a while ago, right?
I'm gonna say yes because
Yeah.
I don't even
Yeah,
remember.
it doesn't last.
I think it only lasts for a minute.
Yeah, but I do.
No, it's longer than that. It's like 10 minutes. Let me
I'm
see.
actually going to use the
But it's
inspiration that
Definitely
we
been
got
longer than that.
from last session for eating that meal.
Okay.
So, because my
Oh, yeah, we do
charisma,
have that.
my charisma sucks.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Let's see. That is going to be a 12.
12 is not gonna be enough, I'm afraid. So.
Oh wait,
Was it a spell save? Because we have advantage on
Yeah,
spell saves.
I
right?
just
It
saw
is-
that. I just saw that, but I used
It is
inspiration
not a
instead.
spell.
Okay.
What was the stuff we got from the last meal? I lost my note.
Immunity to necrotic damage and advantage on spell saves.
Okay.
Yeah, because that was an amazing meal.
Mm-hmm.
It was my best meal ever.
Okay, so. So many good choices here. And I actually get to choose. Okay. Zara, you feel tension in your muscles, all of your muscles, all at once, right as the beak of this creature strikes you. Almost like you've been jolted by electricity, causing you to tense up for just a brief moment. And as that tension releases, you feel an exhaustion in your muscles. And you have disadvantage on all saving throws for the time being.
Okay.
That is the end of that bird's turn. Ixis.
Yexis is gonna just curse under his breath a little, saying, we just wanted to get through this damn place. And he's gonna was the coin still embedded in his hand? Is it embedded?
It is not embedded in your hand, but there is a mark from where it basically branded itself on your hand.
Okay. So he's gonna take his coin and he's gonna flick his claw across it. Runes. How many times a day can you use a rune?
Each rune power can be used once in a day. Well,
Okay.
each rune can be used once in a day, whether it's a power or a mastery power.
Okay. So anyway, the coin, he flicks his claw across it and it sends out a spark, and it's going to be the fireball.
Nice.
Right there.
Okay. And that
And-
is a dexterity save, if I remember correctly.
Yes, it is.
So, we will go with the one at the very bottom there first. It is going to roll 15.
That does not save.
Does not save. Okay, one diagonal down from Isa is a 21.
That saves.
one next to Zara is a 12. And the one by
Does not
itself
save.
is a 13. So I think
Does-
only the one saves.
Only the one. Okay. So
At least it was the one that was already injured.
Yeah.
uh 37 points of fire damage.
37 points of fire damage. Very nice. Okay.
And I will duck behind the tree trunk, and my tiny servant, which was
Before we get to that, there's one
Okay.
other thing.
okay.
He's got to damage these guys first. Saved. Okay. Roll a d20 for me.
Oh no. 10?
10. Well, I know you guys are not level 10. So roll a percentile for me.
Okay. 91.
91. Consult my chart.
I don't like the sound of this.
91 points of damage to everybody on the map. Everyone
Okay.
dies.
So, Yixis,
Yes.
for the next 10 minutes, when you move an appendage on the left side of your body, the opposite one on the right side of your body moves instead, and vice versa.
This is very specific.
Yes, it is. Unless you are ambidextrous, which I know you are not, because we talked about it earlier. This gives you disadvantage on melee attacks and halves your speed for the duration.
All right. This is so weird. Okay. Well, like I said, I'll just duck behind the tree trunk, trying to kind of hide, but I don't actually have like a hide action or anything.
And
Probably
as
fumble over my feet moving
Yeah.
the weird way.
Yeah, as you notice your body is not responding the way it should, you kind of look at your hands and you see that branded image on your palm glowing where it wasn't just a moment ago.
What? And I'm gonna send my tiny servant out.
Okay.
And he's gonna take some attacks. Let's see here, where are you? There you are. And he's gonna take one attack because that's all he can do. Uh, 22 to hit.
That thing never ceases to surprise me. Yeah, that
I
definitely hits.
love my tiny servant.
That is
That thing
that is
and the fucking goat from Sonata 2.
that tiny servant is like the most jacked magical entity around.
Right?
I love my goat. Don't make fun of my goat.
And that
She
isn't even
bites.
like a super buffed tiny servant or anything. It's just an ordinary tiny servant.
Anyways,
Look, my goat raged just like my character in Sonata 2.
4 bludgeoning.
Or bludgeoning, okay.
I'd like to imagine that it's under the water because it is a tiny servant and it just goes boom on its claw.
Makes sense. All right. Anything else from you or your minions, Yixis?
Flying serpent going to fly out and around. That'll be it.
All right. That brings us round to Subira.
Okay, let's see here. She is going to go ahead and she's gonna move herself over here. And like she do, she's gonna open up her satchel and pull out a a skull, and she's gonna go ahead and slam it into the water. And when it emerges, I don't think I've used this one yet. A very beautiful black and gold gilded skeleton pops out, and it's got a crossbow and a bow on its back and everything, and it is gonna go ahead and just kind of be summoned right here in front of me.
Okay.
So it will go after my turn.
Let's just give it this token here. Come on, roll 20. You can do it.
I believe in you.
There we go.
She'll just look at the skeleton and gesture at the birds, and she'll say, "Eugene, please take care of these pests, please." And then it's my skeleton's turn.
I love
I
that
don't
its
have
name is
control of it.
Eugene.
Heck yeah, I got names for all three of my things.
Adding it right now.
Yay! Okay.
Should give you control for movement. It's not the proper character sheet for it. I'll put that in later. But that should at least allow you to position it on the board where it should be.
Perfect. That is what I needed. So let me just look up the stats real quick. Grave
One
Wolf.
day
There we go.
that book will go on sale on Roll20, and I'll actually buy it. But that day is not today.
So Eugene's gonna go ahead and kind of nod its head in acknowledgement, and it's gonna go ahead and go right here, take out its bow and aim for this crow right here.
Okay.
Let me just double check. It's plus. Okay, cool. Okay, so that is a dirty 20.
A dirty 20 will absolutely hit.
Okay. It actually, so that is actually, this is the only one that doesn't have multi-attack, but that's fine. So it does hit, you said?
Yep.
It does 2d4 plus 3 necrotic damage. Oh, plus the level. Oh, shit. Okay, hold on.
That's why
All
it
that
doesn't have
plus my
multi-attack.
spell, which is 4. Sweet. Okay. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14 necrotic damage.
14 necrotic damage. Good damage. Okay.
Unfortunately, he has only got the one hit, but I am loving the necrotic damage, so that is Eugene's turn.
All right. And that actually brings us to that very bird. It is going to move right over here between you and Eugene. And he is going to start trying to swipe his talons at you, Sabira.
Okay.
These birds are surprisingly intelligent, and it is aware that you are in control of that skeleton, so it's going to try and deal with you instead of the skeleton. And that is going to be a 24 to hit.
That does hit.
Not going to be great damage. It's going to be 8 slashing damage.
Okay. And I actually would like to do a reaction.
Okay.
I would like to do Hellish Rebuke on it.
All right. Rebuke away.
It must make a Dex saving throw.
12.
Does not make it, so it gets the full fire damage. What's it? 2d10? Nope, that's 5d10. Oh god, I don't have enough D10s out. Alright, well. Wait, no, maybe I do.
Yeah, that's the nasty thing about warlocks with Hellish Rebuke as a spell. High
Yep.
damage.
Ooh. Okay, let's see here. So we have 14, 16, 17, 20, 21, 22, 23, 4, 5, 26, 27. I need to roll one more. Oh god, die down. 7. 35 fire damage altogether.
35
Jesus.
fire damage. Yikes.
That's a lot.
That is a very
The
roasty
only
looking bird.
upside to the Warlock casting very minimal spells, and since we leveled up to level 7, all my spells now are casted at 4th level.
Yep. Well, that is a very unhappy bird, so it is going to swipe at you with its talons one more time.
That's fair.
And it is going to be a 21 to hit.
Yeah, that will hit.
That is going to be another 8 slashing damage.
Eugene, defend me.
It is going to follow that up by pecking at you with its beak.
Oh, it's got 3 attacks? Bitches.
Yeah, it does. And they keep rolling real good on their attacks, too. That is a dirty 20 to hit.
That will hit.
You know, I think they've already hit more than those giants did.
Yeah, those giants are useless. That is going to be 12 piercing damage,
Ouch.
and I need a charisma saving throw.
Oh, I can do that.
It should be no problem whatsoever for you.
Oh, yeah. That is 22.
22? Okay, you are fine.
Oh,
will
that
bring us
took
to
half my freaking health.
what happens when you throw a
Fine.
gilded skeleton at them.
Ow.
This one... Who does this one want to go for? We're going to let the dice decide. I know who I want to go for, but... Oh, okay, it's going for Yixis. But it has to use its wings to get there because its ground speed is not enough, so it will leap out of the water, flap its giant wings as it flutters right over to here, looks around and happens to see Yixis right there, and will begin to attack. Oh, that one is not rolling well though. That's a 10 to hit. That's an 18 to hit on the second Talon attack.
That one does hit.
It's going to be 8 slashing damage, and following it up with a beak attack, which is going to be a dirty 20.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that hits. Let me just make sure I don't have like any reactionary spells. Nope, I do not.
That's going to be a hefty hit with 16 piercing damage. And I need a charisma saving throw.
Okay. Yeah. That's payback for all the 20s. That's a 5.
That's a 5. Okay. So you, Yixis, are going to feel an intense pain right behind your eyes just for a moment, and then it seems to fade away just as quickly as it came. And for the time being, you have disadvantage on all ability checks. And that brings us
Right.
to Zarax. Who is muted?
That's fine. I was just mumbling to myself. Okay. We have rested since then, so Step A is Hunter's Mark.
Okay. And which one are you targeting?
This one. Right in front of me.
We'll slap that mark on it.
And that burns a bonus action. They've got that under control. Sure. Has the one in front of me been hit at all yet?
It has, yes.
Has? Okay. We are going to do... a long time no ranger. Okay, that's what I was looking for. All right. Going after the one right in front of me. Does a 16 hit?
It sure does.
Do you need the damage split out?
I do not.
Okay.
For once, I'm using a creature without resistances.
17 damage for that.
Very nice damage.
And the follow-up swing will be a 17 to hit.
That will also hit.
I do not get to add. I do not get to add Colossus Slayer. I get to add that though. What do you mean I don't have great weapon fighting? What kind of nonsense is this? 10, 15 damage on the second one.
15 damage. Okay. Significant amount of damage against that guy.
And I am going to shift 5 feet over towards trying to help Yixis eventually.
Okay.
He's standing over there like he just had the worst brain freeze ever.
That brings us to the last bird on the list, who is in Iza's threat range, so it is going to stay put and attack her. So that's going to miss, though, with an 11 to hit.
Okay.
Second Talon attack that's a little bit better. That's a 24 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
That is disappointing damage, though. That is 8 slashing damage.
All right.
And third attack with that beak is going to be a 18 to hit.
That misses.
That misses. That's unfortunate. That's the one that I want to hit with. Okay. So that will do it for that bird. And that brings us to, I'm sure, the quite antsy and eager Xena.
Finally. Xena is going to, of course, rage gloriously. And I rolled on my wild magic table for her rage, and it's quite a glorious one. So a bolt of light shoots from her chest as she just shouts a war cry. And as she can choose a creature of her choice that she can see within 30 feet, must make a Constitution saving throw. So this guy in front of Yixis is going to make a Constitution saving throw.
Okay. And he is going to roll disappointingly with a 9.
No, that fails. And so he's going to take 1d6 radiant damage and is blinded until the start of my turn.
Nice.
That's
So
a
he's
nice
going
one.
to take 3 points of radiant damage and is blinded. And that's all from just my rage, so now I'm going to move.
Nice.
charge over there. And I'm gonna whack him.
Okay, and that is at advantage because it's blind.
Oh yeah. Ooh, nice. That's like 17 plus 8.
Oh,
So-
yes.
For the first hit. So let me see. Damage. Okay. 8. 14 points of slashing damage
Okay.
for the first hit. And I don't think I add anything else to that, right? Yeah, it's just the +2. Yeah. Second hit is gonna be, let's see, 15 plus 8. I'm guessing that hits as well. It's over 20.
Most definitely.
Okay. 4, 9, 10, 11 points.
Points. Okay.
Oh, I needed to add. Oh, no, that was fine. Yeah, we're good. Because I don't add my modifier to that one. So it's 9 points additional slashing damage. And I think that's it. Yeah, because I used my bonus action to rage.
All right.
Done.
So,
Barbarian's
You-
easy.
Ixis, you just see a beam of light flash at this thing as it squawks loudly and it can no longer see. It's flailing about. And then Xena comes flying in out of nowhere and just beats the life out of it. Well, not literally, it's still life, but almost
Yeah.
beats the life out of it with her.
This is one of many reasons why Yixis loves Xena.
Get
And
away from
now
my friend.
That brings us to the ever patient Zara.
For the first time since I've gotten this weapon, Zara's going to grab the 9 lives stealer,
Nice.
and she's gonna make an attack with it.
Wondering when that thing would come out.
That is a natural 20, so 27.
That beats their AC of 14.
So brutal critical,
Mhm.
correct?
Yep. But
So it's gonna be a total of 16 slashing damage.
okay. It's gonna go ahead and make that con save, I believe it is.
If it's under 100 hit points, yeah, it has to DC 15 con save.
It's con. It has a chance, but it's not great. That's real bad news for that guy. He rolled a 14, so he failed the con save.
So that means he is instantly instantly killed as the sword tears its life force from its body.
Yep.
That sounds violent.
It's kind of a grotesque scene as Zara. Yeah, actually, no. I'm gonna let Rojan describe this. He's the one that just slaughtered this bird.
So I think Zara not really being the sword wielder of it's just a wild swing that catches it like just like right in the side, and as it's like pulling through the flesh, this dark green light begins to tear just to like slowly start following as the wound is opened up, and as it leaves the body, the entirety of the bird's soul is just pulled into the blade. Now, is this a creature?
It is.
I
Yes,
mean, I'm sorry. Is it a beast?
a beast. It is not. It is a monstrosity.
Damn. Okay, so I couldn't. Oh, okay. Damn. Because I wanted to double tap this thing, but it's beast or humanoid only. Well, I was gonna use fungal infestation to make it a zombie.
Okay.
Oh well.
Anything else on your turn?
Since I made an attack, I can't cast a bonus action spell if it's not a cantrip, correct?
You cannot.
Okay. I think think Zara is going to back up. And that will be my turn.
Okay. So that brings us to Iza. That was quite the sight you just witnessed.
Just gonna shout out to Zara that we need to work on your swing. That was pretty cool. And then she's gonna turn back towards the one in front of her and take a swing at it.
Swing away.
Just double check. Why the heck not? We'll do a trip attack on it.
Trip it and then hold it underwater.
16?
I mean, tiny servant's right there. He can just.
Yes, 16 will hit.
Alright, so I'm gonna need a strength saving throw.
Strength saving throw. These birds have surprisingly good stats. No, never mind. He rolled a 1.
So he's going to take 14 poison damage from my claws.
Okay.
And he is knocked prone. And as he goes prone, I'm going to make another attack at him under the water, I guess.
Yeah, it's at advantage because he's prone.
Okay. Well, those both sucked. That's 11.
That's
But
that's
he's-
not gonna do it.
Underwater, so let's go ahead and action surge. Because
Yeah,
why not? Um,
Doesn't count. It doesn't count. You didn't say it correctly.
Right?
I can hear you.
That's better. So that's another 16 to hit.
That'll hit.
Can I roll above a 5 on the damage die? I can. That's 13 points of damage.
13 points of damage. Okay.
And that is a natural 20.
Natural 20. All right. That is a brutal critical.
14, 18 plus. Really? 21.
21. That bird is looking real rough.
Not yet, though.
Rougher
Hey.
than the one that Sabira fried with her hellish rebuke.
Now I'm going to bring the shield down on top of it. It's looking rough. Because
Might as well.
it's there under the water. And 21,
Yes.
23. I can match 23.
Literally 20 anything will do it.
That's two more points plus strike, so 6 points of
Points.
bludgeoning damage.
Great damage against that guy.
And that will be the end of my turn, because I don't
Okay.
really want to move away from it.
That one is dead. Yixis, you're up.
Oh boy. So he's sitting right there, huh? Yeah, I don't want to do that one. Nope, not that one either. I'm just gonna go with good old faithful Toll the Dead on the one
Okay.
in front of me. So I believe that's a wisdom save on
No.
your part.
The one save that they're good at, and he rolls a 3 on the die. So that's going to be a total of 8.
I'd like to hear that,
I
actually.
don't.
2d12. Okay, well, that's going to be 16 points of necrotic damage.
All right. This bird is squawking and flailing about as it's trying to figure out where this damage is coming from because it's blind.
I will take at least one step back,
Okay.
which might provoke an attack of opportunity still.
I don't believe it will because I believe they have to be able to see you in order to get that attack of opportunity off.
And then for the rest of everything, my flying serpent familiar will go over there and dive quickly into the water and cast Dragon's Breath on the tiny servant. I will choose. Let's go with poison. Try that. And then he will fly away to get away from it. That might provoke an attack of opportunity from the one that he was just. No, wait. He's got flyby. He doesn't provoke attacks of opportunity. Okay, so then Tiny Servant is going to do a breath attack against that one there.
Okay.
15-foot cone. It won't hit Iza because he's facing it away from her. It needs to
Appreciate
make
that.
a dex save.
X save. Okay. That is going to be. Ooh, good roll. That is a dirty 20.
Okay, so it's going to take half.
Tries to roll out of the way, but it's underwater, so it doesn't roll very well. Only gets halfway out of the dragon's breath.
That's going to be 10 points of damage, so half is 5.
Okay. Is one sad bird.
And that is my turn.
That brings us up to Subira.
Okay. I've got this bird in front of me that just did some nice amount of damage that I don't approve of. So I'm gonna go ahead and Misty Step as a reaction. Can I go here? Like
Yes.
is that under a tree or something? Okay.
Yep. You can
Cool.
absolutely go there.
And I will go ahead and cast. I'll go ahead and do Toll the Dead.
Okay.
So I think I still. Nope, they need to make a wisdom saving throw.
That's more like it on the wisdom saves. That's a 25.
Well, balls. Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, if it succeeds, nothing happens. So.
Downside of cantrips.
Yeah, she just looks disappointed. But Eugene.
So kind of her normal face then.
Pretty much. Yeah. Eugene will go ahead and he'll just take a few steps back. Right here. Probably get an opportunity to attack, not sure, but
yeah, it will go ahead and make that opportunity attack against him. That will be. Nope. No, it's not. It's gonna miss.
yay. Okay.
Yeah, unless
So-
an 8 somehow hits.
No, it does not. Even though he's a skeleton, he's a semi-durable skeleton. He's gonna go ahead and shoot another bolt at him, a grave bolt.
Okay.
It's a natural 20.
Very nice.
Go, Eugene. Okay, so that is what was that? That was it was 2d4, so it's 8. So that is 18 total damage.
Very nice damage.
And then the regular roll. 13 more necrotic damage.
Ouch. That is an unhappy bird.
He's still up after all the
still up.
damage? God, this bird needs to go. Okay.
Right?
He's not looking good though.
Oh, I was gonna say after that sacred flame, I'm like, how are you still standing? All right, that's my turn.
Okay. And it is actually that bird's turn now. It is not happy, but there are creatures between you and it. That creature is Zara, unfortunately for her. So it is going to go charging
Sorry,
in your
Zara.
direction, but stop when it sees Zara and start scraping at her with its talons.
I'm going, as it's running, I'm going to use Halo of Spores again.
Okay. And that was a
Con save.
con save. Dirty 20.
Oh, yep, that'll make it. So nothing happens.
It scrapes at you with its talons, and that is a 21 to hit.
Yup.
Be 9 slashing damage.
Okay.
On attack number 2. It is cocked. I never cock in this dice tray. That is going to be 24 to hit.
That'll hit.
Very low damage on that one. That is going to be 6 slashing damage. And beak attack. That is going to be a dirty 20 on the beak attack.
That'll hit too.
Some more disappointing damage. That's going to be 9 piercing damage and a charisma save, if you would.
Another charisma save.
Yep.
And you said all saves are made at disadvantage, right?
Yes.
That's gonna be a 9.
9. Okay. Well, nothing new is going to happen to you, but that disadvantage on saves is going to persist.
Okay.
Brings us over to that bird who is going to squawk and flail blindly in Xena's general direction. It's going to be rolling at disadvantage here because it can't see anything.
Xena's just laughing the whole time.
Pretty sure 7 misses you.
Yeah.
Talon attack number 2. Ugh, these disadvantages keep taking away my nat 20s. But that will be a 22 to hit.
Oh, yeah, that hits.
That is going to be 8 slashing damage.
Where it
And
is.
then a disadvantaged beak attack.
2, 4. Is that already reduced, or do I reduce the 8 from my rage?
That is not reduced yet.
Okay, so 4. Got it.
And then it is going to miss with an 11 on the beak attack.
Silly bird.
My poor birds. Xerax, you are up.
All right, someone murdered my bird. So, Isa looks like she's got that well in hand. We're gonna move Hunter's Mark to that one.
Okay.
And see if we can murder a bird.
I believe in you.
I believe in me. I don't believe in me. That's a 13 to hit.
A 13 will not hit.
I was worried you were going to say a 1.
Me too. I was
I
terrified.
was hoping you were going to say a 1.
I'm like, look, I've got 12 HP left. Let's not roll 1s here.
Okay, that's better. That's a 23 to hit.
Yes. That is 9 more than you needed.
Goodbye, D6.
Goodbye forever.
Ew, 12, 14, 16, 17, 19?
19.
19.
Okay. Well, it's Thanksgiving, and that bird is a turkey.
Yum.
It falls into the water and a moment later, its head follows.
That's all.
Good. 5, 10. Yeah, we'll move to there.
Okay.
That is all I can do.
That poor bird is finally going to get back to its feet. Now it has 2 targets. Okay, let's find out which one it goes. Well, I do 3 targets technically. It is going to go for you, Xerix. It's going to splash out of the water, flailing at you with its talons. 15 to hit.
Mm-mm.
I would
Swing
like
and a
to
miss.
use my reaction to take a target against it with Sentinel, since it took an attack against someone else.
Okay.
That sounds like a shield to the back of the head.
19 to hit.
Yeah, that'll hit.
Yeah.
Max
he's
damage.
like,
14 points of damage with my
Fine.
claws.
14
Dude, pay attention to
max.
me.
That's
Nice.
hefty. Yeah.
Max damage.
That's a real hurt looking bird now. It's gonna go ahead and instead of making that second talon attack against Xerix, it is gonna turn around after being knocked in the back of the head and make that attack against you, Isa. So does a 19
We would have a
hit?
battle healer. Yeah, 19 meets.
Going to be 10 slashing damage.
Alright.
And yeah, it's gonna make the beak attack against you as well. Oh, so close. So close. But that will be a 24 to hit.
I mean, that hits.
Going to be 15 piercing damage.
Alright.
I need a charisma saving throw.
Damage real fast. Saving throw. I rolled a 3, so that's a 1. Not a natural 1, just a 1.
As you recoil from being pecked at by this thing's large beak, you feel all of your joints kind of crack and pop, like cracking your knuckles type of noises, but like all of them all at once.
And not in the good way.
No,
the bad
not in
way.
a good way. And it makes you quite sore. For the time being, you have disadvantage on all attack rolls. That brings us over to Xena.
Yes. So until my rage ends, as a bonus action, I can do that same ability again. So I'm going to need a Constitution saving throw from my same target.
Okay. See if you can roll better this. Nope, you can't. That's a 9.
DC 12. So 9 does not make it.
Yeah, failed with that 9.
So he's going to
4
take
for a bird.
just 2 points of radiant damage and is blinded until the start of my next turn again.
Okay.
So he got vision briefly back, and then Xena shouted. A burst of light came from her chest once more, and the bird is blinded again.
Poor bird is just over here flailing around and screaming.
So I'm going to attack with advantage with my axe. 16 plus 8, that's over 20 to hit.
Absolutely.
So I guess that hits. Ooh, max damage, 12. 18 points of slashing damage.
Hefty hit on that.
And then it's still up for now?
Yep.
Okay, second attack. Nat 20.
Nice. Been the game for those.
This is a night of nat 20s.
It
This
is.
is great.
I wish
Where's
we
my
were.
nat
I wish we were
20s?
counting them so we could have like stats on it. I forgot. Oh, so
It
many.
goes up on
Is-
YouTube, someone can.
Going to
Yeah.
be max damage, including modifiers, and then roll the normal damage and include the modifiers again.
Okay. Okay. Let me get a calculator out for this. Here's my little. There you are, calculator app. Okay, so my max damage would be what I got previously. So that was 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 18. Plus, and now I roll, right? For normal damage.
Yep.
Ooh, that was good. Almost max damage on the normal roll. And this is, I still add modifiers to this one as well?
Yep.
Okay. Oh no, I wouldn't though, because it's my second attack, so it would just be...
It would have all the modifiers that attack normally would on its damage. And because it's brutal critical instead of normal critical, we're doubling up on the modifiers, because normally you just add them once.
Okay. Got it. All right, so that's a total of 31 points slashing.
Ouch. That is more than enough to take this bird apart piece by piece as its screams slowly die down and it slumps lifeless into the water.
And as she's just like, there's just this vibrant light just coming from her chest, and she's doing these like flourishing spins, and inspired by their kind of, you know, their cranes, but she's thinking of flamingos, so she's doing kind of a flamingo dance, like with her axe swirling, just
Heck
little
yes.
whirling dervish of death with beauty and grace that only Xena can do. And then I'll move because I have movement. So then I'm gonna charge over to the remaining one here. So I'm next to my buddies. All right, that's it.
All right, that brings us to Zara.
All right. Zara is not happy at the moment that these birds keep pecking her. So she's gonna stand right where she's at. And she's gonna slowly start chanting to herself as she lets the sword drop. It's like blade down into the water as she uses her hands for uses her hand for the cemented components that she needs. And her eyes are going to go completely black for a moment as this black fungus-like mist is going to start like seeping out of her wounds and heading towards the only bird that's left alive. And she's going to cast Blight.
Gross. I like it.
So another Constitution save, if you will.
15?
15. That matches the spell save.
Ooh.
So it's going to take half of this. So it would be a total of 30 points of necrotic damage, so 15.
15. Okay. So this spore of blight that you've sent towards this thing kind of swirls around it and gets into all the open wounds on its body. And those of you that are surrounding it see the flesh around those wounds turn to a sickly black and grayish color as colorful, vibrant mushrooms begin to sprout out from those wounds. And the color in its bright red feathers fades to a dull, washed out orange almost, and its eyes turn milky white as it collapses and dies. 15 was the exact amount of damage you needed to kill it.
Nice.
She's just gonna reach down and pick up the sword and just put it back in like her belt.
Is that it?
That is the end of initiative. Yeah, you have killed all of my precious birds. Stupid birds.
Hey guys, is there more? I want to. That was not satisfying. I need more death. It was not glorious enough.
I will apply my second wound to myself to try and heal up some though.
I require more death.
Ooh,
Look at
max
me.
on that.
Barely a scratch. This is
who-
ridiculous.
Who aside from me looks the worst?
I mean, half my health is gone. So
More
I,
than half
Yeah.
my.
I'm okay.
I just got 17 back though. So.
Sabira's
hadn't
looking a bit
gone
rough,
last.
and Iza's looking a bit rough.
Back up to 43.
Yixis is a little bit rough, but not as bad as the other two.
All right, I will put a level 3 cure wounds into Sabira.
Thank you.
Brought myself back above 100, so that's good.
All right, so that's going to be 17 points of healing for Sabira.
Thank you.
Who else looked pretty wasted?
Iza. was
Iza.
not looking super great. She
All
did
right.
heal herself a little bit with her second wound,
I'll
but
give Iza a level 2.
you know Iza, she does like to run into danger, so she could probably use the HP.
So
Probably.
that's another 11.
Thank you.
So, those of you that had those disadvantages inflicted upon you, now that these creatures are dead, you feel those various aches and pains persist.
Okay.
They are ever present there, kind of in the back of your mind. You feel that throbbing ache. It's not painful enough that it's, well, painful, but it's there and it's persistent and it's irritating, and it continues to give you those disadvantages.
He's just
Alrighty.
not going to eat the birds this time.
Not
They don't
gonna
look
eat
too-
the birds.
Well, this one looks all gross. That one had something really brutal done to it. That one's
That's
really
fair.
far away, and I'm not feeling too hot, so I'm.
That's fair.
You're
So-
implying the meat of that bird had the soul ripped out of it. It just won't have the same flavor.
No, don't.
It's not
I
as
mean,
juicy anymore.
To be honest, it's never really a good idea to eat monstrosities anyway.
No, but she eats everything. Come on.
I mean, they look like poultry.
And we have a turkey dinner one up here.
If you want to take one to eat for later, I'm most certainly not going to stop.
Nah, it might be foul.
Okay, so Yixis is dead.
Nix suddenly drops dead,
Right.
smited by the gods.
Gravel.
Yeah, Zara seeing everybody eye the bird, she points out to the one of the mushrooms. Don't eat that one.
Since she only specified that one, I'm gonna go pick up this one. I got charred a little.
Okay.
I take the
Drag it
piece-
with us when I get hungry.
Yeah, I'll pick up some slices off of my bird sashimi that whatever I
Yeah,
can salvage.
You did a pretty clean job of chopping its wings off and then beheading it. So you can certainly take those bits with you.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull off a bunch of feathers too. I have some plans for that.
They are very pretty. They are large, soft, vibrant red feathers.
I'm just taking the whole damn bird. I'm gonna throw it over my
Glorious.
shoulder and just take it with me.
Okay, so it sounds like everybody is gathering their stuff and continuing to move forward, hopefully finding the end of this waterlogged environment.
Are the rings that we have, the Aurora rings, they heal, was it max or they heal double when out of combat?
Using them allows you to receive double healing.
Okay.
Oh, I should have done that. Well, next time. I forget we have those.
I dropped level 2 cure into me as well.
So as you begin on your way once more, you head only a couple minutes down the path before you hear a somewhat familiar noise ringing out around you. It is the sound of hammer against metal is the sound of a crackling fire and a somewhat unique music box that you recall hearing from a certain individual out in the forest. As where we are going to stop for today, we will pick that back up at that spot next week.
I love his theme.
Me too.
It's got like a very like Legend of Zelda vendor.
It is,
It does.
a melody of, I think, all of the Goron village themes.
There we
Yep.
go.
Various Zelda games.
That's why.
So thank you
Best.
everyone for joining us today. I look forward to seeing what these guys do when they encounter the other things that are waiting for them in this part of the world. They are most certainly not done in this flooded forest. But this is not the only show that we have on this channel. Speaking of water, we have a very special, very anticipated episode of Destiny Forge tomorrow, where after several years, we are finally going to have our beach day.
Yes,
Finally.
Hopefully not going to be interrupted by any Garys this time, but we will find out.
Something's gonna ruin it.
I
All-
feel like after
all-
all we've done, we deserve a freaking good day.
All I gotta
Something's
say,
gonna ruin
is a teaser: Sharkman in a Speedo.
it.
Oh,
I'm on board.
You know what?
Yeah.
You know what? I am too.
Yeah, sounds good to me. And we also have alternating games on Saturdays. We have Withered Wastes, which is our Arcana Apocalypse. Is what we're calling it,
Arcanopolis.
I
Yeah,
guess.
Arcana Apocalypse.
A very difficult word to say, but a very, very fun campaign that takes place several years earlier than these other campaigns in this world, but on a different continent. The next episode of that is going to be sometime, because we're not meeting on the Saturday this coming, but we're talking about doing a makeup day for it. So we'll keep you posted on Discord and probably Twitter as well when we decide on a day for that, if it happens. But on the other Saturdays, you can catch Wayward Wanderers, which is our Pathfinder 2 Extinction Curse campaign run by the lovely Azerin, where those folks are trying to run a successful circus while also, I don't really know at this point.
Lighting everything on fire.
You know, we keep saying that, but I think they've only lit 2 establishments on fire.
Only.
I mean, that's just an average Tuesday for the Destiny Forge group.
This is true.
Either way, it is a
Not wrong.
really exciting campaign. I believe they're coming to the end of the first book in that adventure.
Pretty
and it's,
close. Yeah.
How many books were in it? 4? 6?
I can't remember if you said 4 or 6. But yeah,
By the way,
that's about right.
It's a big adventure, and that show is a blast. So I definitely recommend tuning in. We also have one additional show, our newest show, which happens first Saturday every month, called Behold Lore, where we talk about lore, homebrew, worlds, races, everything to do with this world and this universe that many of our campaigns take place in. And episode 4.
Yes,
Episode
4.
4 is coming up this Saturday, the 3rd. I have to check the calendar there. That episode is pre-recorded, so we won't be answering your questions live. However, we did take some questions beforehand that we do answer in that show. So it will be premiering at the normal time here on Twitch. We'll be live immediately after on our YouTube channel and also in our podcast format. Once again, thank you everybody for tuning in today. We will see you tomorrow.